Chalo, good morning, boys. Chalo, what are we doing? Basics? Okay. We're going to start with chapter number 1, but before that, let's do a quick revision of what we discussed yesterday. Yes, we started discussing the basics of law in yesterday's class. We started understanding a couple of things. If you want to start drafting laws, there are a couple of things that you need. One is act, the other is rules, then is circulars, notifications, case laws. Yes, we started by forming an act in yesterday's class where we told if you want an act to be made in a proper sense, there are a couple of things that you need to do. When you start a provision, always start with section, subsection, clause, subclause, items, sub-items. Clauses are always small alphabets, small alphabets. Sub-item is always uppercase Roman numerals, uppercase Roman numerals. Your subsection is always numbers. Very good. Yes, but at certain stage, if you think that the items are not dependent on each other, if they're working independently, simply go for clause itself, skip off subsection and move on forward. Yes, then we started discussing that if you need to create a law, a couple more things will be required. You need to first have something called as a charging section, which will come and clarify why do you need this act. Then you need something called as your section number 1, which is short title, extent and commencement. You need section number 2, which is your definitions. Definitions are generally given in alphabetical orders. Alphabetical orders, it's already given in alphabetical orders, and you have 3 kinds of definitions you can make. One is exhaustive, inclusive, exclusive definitions. Yes, then we started discussing that if you need to make couple more things, there are some provisions that you can keep in mind. If you want to create an exception, other laws will recommend proviso. Income tax will recommend subsection by using the word irrespective of anything contained. Yes, if you want to give an explanation, the other laws will clarify explanation itself, but income tax will clarify subsection by writing the word for the purpose of. If you want to give an overriding effect to another section, other laws will specify notwithstanding, and income tax will specify irrespective of anything contained. If you want to make something inferior, we start using subject to clauses. That is what we discussed in yesterday's class. Is anyone having any difficulties here? No? Sure. MCQ question, people question. Which of the two is binding on the department? Circular, notification. Very good. Both is the right answer. Yes, which is binding on department? Both. Which is only binding on department? Circular is the right answer. Yes, so understand this carefully. Circulars are only binding on department, but notification is also binding on department. So technically both is the answer. When I say which is binding on assessee, very good, notification is the right answer to you. Yes, a case laws is binding on both. Binding on both depending on the jurisdiction you are in. If it's CITA, binding on only that person. ITAT is for that state. High Court is for that state. Supreme Court is for all of India. Yes. If you want to create rules, like sections we did, no? Section, subsection, clause, subclause, item, sub-item. Rules, how will it work? If I write 3 bracket 4, what do you call it? Very good. It's always rule 3, sub rule 4. Yes. You will never have the problem of jumping to clause in a rule. Because in a rule, technically you make one rule for each item. Up all items are related to each other only. So there also is the same. Instead of section and subsection, you will use rule and sub rule. Everything else remains the same, which means you'll go clause, subclause, item and sub item. That things are remaining as it is. No changes in that. Any doubts on this? Clear? Yes, good. Yesterday's class we started discussing on what is called as basics of income tax. I already told you that if you want to learn the subject, start with the charging section. Yes, we wrote the charging section in a very simple manner yesterday's class. We wrote charging section as section number 4. We wrote charging section as section number 4, where you told me that you want to clarify a few things. We wrote the charging section as what? It says income tax shall be levied on the total income which is earned by a person in the tax year at the rates in force, and will be also including additional income tax. That is what we discussed of. I gave you a bit of clarifications. Additional income tax are basically those items which are not related to your income, may be taxable separately. Skip off. Then we discussed what is called as person, and I gave you some homework questions. Yes, first I told you persons are types: individual, HUF, firm, company, AOP, BOI, local authority, AJP. Yes, there are some questions which I asked you. Question number 1, is minor an individual? Yes, very good. If dog and individual? Sure. What is the understanding? Not a matured? Okay, that is the more important part. Yes, it's not about the natural part, people. Understand, individual basically is clarified as a person who is a Homo sapien. Biological terms, you have to be a human being to start with. Because yes, a minor today may not be unsound mind, but in the future, he may become strong enough to handle his own decisions. Dog, unfortunately, will never come to that sense. In simple words, income tax says a person who has a sixth sense is called a individual. Unfortunately, animals have not developed a sixth sense right now, and therefore we don't classify them as individuals at all, which means any income earned by animals are taxable for the owners, Any income earned by minor child is taxable for the parent whose income is very good, a parent whose income is higher. But you also need to know this, people, you might have learned this in inter, even a minor child can be taxable. Exceptional cases. Very good. Anything coming from technical and professional skills, manual labor. If a child is handicapped, all their incomes become taxable in their own hands. Unfortunately for dog, that exception will never come into picture. A dog will always be taxable in the name of owner only. That is the understanding for you. Yes, so that is question number 1 that we discussed. Second, we discussed what is called as HUF, Hindu undivided family. While you say it HUF, you also have Jain families, you also have Sikh families. That is what we discussed. I asked you a very simple question. How do you establish a HUF in India? What is the right answer? Very good. The easiest way to get an HUF in India is to get a PAN number, which means go and apply for a PAN number, come and say I'm creating an HUF. For creating a PAN of an HUF, there is only one document which is required. Marriage certificate, full stop. Yes, you only need a marriage certificate, which means, like you rightly mentioned in yesterday's class, having a marriage is enough. A husband and a wife together can open an HUF. That is the only requirement there. There is no requirement to have legal generations. You have 2 kids, 3 kids, not required at all. Having a marriage is good enough to have an HUF. A husband and wife together can open an HUF. They just simply have to submit their marriage certificate. That is as simple as that in India. Yes, which is why people, you will see in most of the Jain communities, you may not have one HUF. In one family itself, there will be multiple HUFs. Everyone getting married is having one HUF. Yes, because it helps. Obviously, you know, every HUF will get a exemption up to 4 lakhs. What am I talking about? Slab rates I'm talking about. Yes, so 4 lakhs variko, you cannot tax HUF itself because DTR scheme comes and allows you 4 lakhs. So you make crores of money and then start distributing all the monies to HUF, 4 lakhs, everyone is exempt. Yes, is it illegal? Perfectly valid, no problems at all. Yes, there is no illegality here as long as you can establish that the HUF is legally earning the money. As long as you can establish HUF is legally earning the money, you cannot object to it. Which is why people, most of the Jain families, like what I have seen is, generally what happens if you are in one business, that one business will have multiple trade names. Yes, which means what you would have done, in the first initial months, the trade names will be in the name of one HUF. The moment it crosses 4 lakhs, what will you do? You will change the trade name, go to another HUF. Then again 4 lakhs, go change name to other HUF. The major HUF will have the majority income, but everyone will keep allocating 4 lakhs. If some HUFs are smart enough, what they'll do? They'll not just allocate 4 lakhs, they'll allocate up to 24 also. It's okay because the slab is still less only. People, the slab becomes a problem after 30%. Up to 30%, I'm still fine with it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah, no. Yes, so that is why HUF does a lot of big rules. I don't know if you know this, people, but when Income Tax 25 was being launched, a proposal was actually given in India. Proposal to abandon HUF. There was a proposal given to abandon HUF. They literally came and said persons may say remove HUF off because in India technically HUF is now being misused. In the past it made sense because that time we used to come and say one family only one person is working because that person is working for the whole family and therefore we used to call it HUF. It made sense. Today everyone is using HUF only as a tax evasion order. Yes, it's become a tax. It's not even evasion, it's tax avoidance measure. Yes, and therefore there was a proposal given to remove of HUF, but then like I told you, the bigger problem which happened is we never consulted CS. They only consulted CBDT members and CBDT members got a clear instruction. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. So they were like, I will only do what I am paid for. I am not going to put my brain into it. Therefore HUF was retained. Lucky for us, we also never objected. My job is getting done. Why should I problematic? Yes or no? That is what the logic came into when it came to HUF. Yes. Now there are some technical things you might have learnt in inter syllabus. HUFs are of 2 types. One is Daya Bhaga School of Law. One is Mitakshara School of Law. What is the difference? Very good. Yes, there is something called West Bengal and Assam. West Bengal and Assam follows Daya Bhaga School of Law. Others follow Mitakshara School of Law. Difference is very simple. Those 2 people came and said, boss, tomorrow, if a child is born in my family, the child will still not be eligible for the property. Matlab all the property will remain in the name of Karta only. When will the child get the property? When the Karta dies. When the Karta dies, matlab West Bengal and Assam very clearly said, I do not trust my child. Very clear. Yes, I do not trust my child. But that is also one other problem, no people. It is now giving you an opportunity. It's giving you an opportunity right now, because as long as that guy is alive, I am not going to become the owner, so might as well crime petrol. Yes or no? Very common practice. On the other hand, Daya Bhaga comes and says, boss, the moment you are born into the family, you are eligible for the rights of the property. Yes, at least their killing will be less, because you know you're already an owner. Maybe you're not the complete owner, but at least some part is there. To that extent, you're safer enough. So the whole of India follows Mitakshara school of law, where they say, I am going to make you the owner as long as you're born in the family. But Daya Bhaga will say, as long as Karta is alive, sorry, I do not trust you, because tomorrow you may come and take over the property and throw me out of the house. I am not happy with that. I am not going to give you the property itself. Yes, not relevant at final level, but still something for you to know. Yes, here I gave you homework question number 2, where I came and asked you, what are the members and what are the co-partners? Tell me, are they the same? No, what is the difference? Very good. Co-partners are the people who have a right in the property. Members are basically everyone who's there in the family. Everyone who's there in the family. So by that logic, if I have to come and define something, tell me which and all are the members. There is a person, he is the Karta. Is he a member of the family? Yes. So this person is going to be the member also. Is he the co-partner? Yes, he is also the co-partner, because he is the Karta at the end of the day. When I say co-partner, I am not denying the fact. See, yes, he is the Karta, so he doesn't have to be co-partner, but at the end of the day, he is going to get the right in the property. So very well a co-partner as well. Yes, this guy has a wife, Sundar Kanya. Tell me, member. Member, co-partner. Very good, not a co-partner. She is not a co-partner, she does not get the rights in the property. Yes, these people have a son. Member, co-partner. Very good. He is also a co-partner, because he gets the rights in the property. This person, they also have a second child. This one is a daughter. Member. Very good. Co-partner. Sure, huh? He's going to leave the family, no? Question. Tomorrow if she gets married and leaves the house, is he still a co-partner? Very good. Yes, that is the understanding of HUF. HUF laws were changed in 2006. In 2006 or 2004, I think, laws were changed and they were clarified, saying even if the woman leaves the house, she still has a right in the property. Matlab, she can always come back to the family and come and say, if the Karta dies, I also want a share. Will be perfectly given to her, perfectly valid enough in the law. Yes, that's a good side which was done, but yes, that is a law for you. Yes, son has got married, son has a wife. Is she a member? Very good. Is she a co-partner? No, she is not a co-partner. Yes, coming to the daughter, daughter has a husband. Is he a member? Huh? The daughter is the member. No, why is husband being questioned? Very good. People, the moment the daughter moved to another family, HUF was part of that family. Sorry, husband was part of that family. He cannot become part of my family. Matlab, husband is neither a member nor a co-partner. Now here is the funny thing. Notice, daughter is a member of my HUF also. Is a member of that HUF also. But she's a co-partner in my HUF. She's not a co-partner in that HUF. Yes or no? Yes. Very good. Son and wife have a son. Member also. Co-partner also. Very well. They have a daughter. Member also. Co-partner also. People, daughter and husband have a son. Why? Half blood. People, half is my HUF family, no? Very good. Yes, because she moved to the other family, the son was also born in that family. Therefore, no membership, no co-partnership. Even daughter will not be eligible. Hey, can I make it easier for you? A person becomes a member in the family either by birth or by bringing into family. Check karo. Yes, I am either there by birth, there by birth, there by birth, or I am brought into the family. Husband was not brought into my family. Husband was part of that. I went to that family. So therefore, these people became member because of birth. Wife became member because of bringing into family. Ayana. Yes. But for all co-partners, if you notice, co-partners are only co-partners because they were birth, which is why wife got excluded. which means everyone who gets born gets co-partnership rights. Everyone who's brought does not get co-partnership rights. Ayana. Yes. But at this stage, imagine what happened is this family came and said, both my son and daughter are useless, which means I don't trust my blood anymore. Might as well adopt someone. Yes. So they have done an adopted son. Tell me, people, adopted son is member. Is he a member? Is he a member? Is he a member? Very well. If legally adopted child, then yes, he is also a member, because what did I tell you? Member matlab every person who is born into the family, or this person is brought into the family. Matlab this person does become a member. Unfortunately, no co-partnership rights, because not born into the family. Blood relation is very important here. Yes. Although yes, I object to it, because if the family never had a kid itself, someone has to become the co-partner. No. At this stage, what they are clarifying is, if they did not have a child, an adopted son is there, let's not make him a co-partner. Let's wait for the family to die. He will automatically become the legal heir. He'll automatically become the legal heir. So he may not be a co-partner at this stage, but he is very well the legal heir of the property. Matlab, the moment the family dies, he is anyway eligible for the property. So yes, you don't have to worry about the fact that a co-partner is there and a co-partner is not there. Tomorrow it may happen that son's wife is not a co-partner. But if everyone in the family dies, she is eventually going to get the property. At which stage she will end up becoming the karta also, for that matter. Yes or no? So co-partner is more like a very, how do I put it to you? It's a very limited scope. It doesn't really make a difference. When does a co-partnership rights help you really? Very good. That's the answer. When you want to partition the HUF. If today when everyone is alive and you come and say, you know what, I don't want to be a member of the family anymore. At that stage, son will have a right to come and ask for property. Son's wife does not have a right. Son's wife does not have a right. Same logic, adopted son. Adopted son will not have a right to come and say, I am leaving the house. I want rights in the property. Family will say, boss, you were never part of the family itself. First of all, I was very kind enough to bring you to the family. Either if you are playing this nonsense, dafa ho yahan se. Yes, I'm not going to give you anything itself. So anyway, it does not matter. Any doubts on this? This is what an HUF looks like. You cannot change a new HUF, no? See, understand this very logically. If a karta dies, you have a PAN number assigned to it. If a PAN number is assigned to it, how can you start a new HUF as such? You have to create your own HUF based on your marriage certificate then. Yes, but if you come and tell me that just because the karta has died, we will destroy the HUF and start over again, that's not a necessity. Because at the end of the day, it's a family. If the karta is not there, someone else can even take it over. Yes. So it is not that you can change it. It's like simply coming and saying a simple example. Today Rahul has a PAN number in the name of Rahul. Tomorrow Rahul went to Hindu newspaper and changed his name off. Tomorrow Rahul wants to call himself Rahul. Tell me, will I get a new PAN number? Will I get a new PAN number? No. I cannot change for a new PAN number. My name in the PAN can change, but my PAN number will not change. Because the moment you change your PAN number, what happens? It is assumed in income tax that you're a new person altogether. Apo, this is a very clear case of fraud. Because one person who's alive in India suddenly has two identities. At which stage, what can Rahul do? Rahul can now run with two PANs. And Rahul can earn some income in this PAN, some income in this PAN. Is it possible? No. And therefore, India has a very clear policy. One person gets only one PAN. Even if your name changes, even if your legal status changes, we will not let you change your PAN number. That is not allowed, because then it is identified as a different person altogether, not permitted to that extent. Clear? That is why, people, if you have an HUF, your original person will have an HUF in his name. That HUF will be continued by the other family members. Now here, if the son and wife decided they want their own HUF, that's fine. Which means what will happen? Now there are two HUFs. One is on the top, one is on the bottom. Tomorrow, if it happens that above person dies, then what will happen? There are two HUFs and both the HUF for the karta is son only. At that stage, income tax department will question you. They will say, I'm sorry, how are you a karta of both the HUFs? Surrender one. That will have to be done. Otherwise, it's a legal and illegal thing. Yes or no? It's like coming and saying, if Rahul wants to have 4 HUFs, what will Rahul do? You know, marry one woman, create an HUF, divorce, second woman, HUF, divorce. HUF is going to still be alive. But then Rahul is now the karta of 4 HUF. Will you allow? Answer nahi hai. Yes, at that stage and all, income tax will start questioning you. Yes, but until that happens, very well. If the family has an HUF, you can have your own HUF, I can have my own HUF, no problems at all. Completely legal and valid. Any doubts on this? Clear? Yes? Yes.
If there's property and the Karta dies, and legally co-partners have the right to the property.
Yes.
So in that case, will the adopted son not have the right to the property? Will it be put only between the son and the daughter, or will it go to the adopted son?
It'll go only. Yes. So a very valid question is the fact that if you have a HUF which has a property and the family members die, the karta and the wife dies, in that case it will only go to the legal heirs as a co-partnership, because the property was never in the father's name. The property was in the name of HUF. Therefore, it will only go to the son and daughter. It will not go to the adopted son. If the property was named in the father, then in that case even adopted son will get, because he is technically also the legal heir from the father's perspective. Yes, so to that extent, yes, you are very valid on the question. Any doubts on this? Are we clear? Yes, very good. Person number 3 was what we discussed as firm. Firm is nothing but 2 or more people coming together with an intention to make profits, by either acting in own capacity or in a representative capacity. That is what you discussed of. Yes, that is what a firm is. And then we have company. Company matlab a company which is registered under Companies Act 2013. That is a very simple thing. Association of persons and body of individuals, I told you, is basically group of people coming together. If they are not an individual, it becomes AOP. But if they are an individual, it becomes BOI. This is part of your CA final syllabus. I will discuss this with you. How does a taxation of these two happen is part of my logics. Yes, then we had what is called as local authority, municipality, and finally you have any idea for an example? Sorry? University is an AJP. University is an AOP, technically exempt from tax. Why is university given a power by the law? It's not given a power by the law. Which law are you talking about? MU has the power to conduct exams for other institutes. Who gave the power to MU is the question. Are you telling MU is AJP? Who gave him the powers? LIC is a company, very clearly. LIC is listed, no? LIC is a company, that's a listed company. Temple deities, meaning Pandit. Lord Ganesha, that Murti, is an AJP. He's paying tax, huh? Temples itself are exempt from tax. Fully exempted. No idea? No idea? No idea? The classic and the best example you can always think of an AJP is a liquidator. Isn't? Think about it logically. Think about it logically. People, I am a liquidator. Yes, I am given a responsibility. When a company shuts down, I have to sell all the assets. Now, I am going to sell all the assets in whose name? My name. I'm going to sell all the assets in company name. The problem is company is already in liquidation. So which means someone has to pay tax on that profit. Now I have been appointed by courts, very good. I have been appointed by courts and tribunals in order to sell the assets. Matlab now as a liquidator, Rahul is going to sell the assets of the company. Is he selling it in an individual capacity? Is he selling it in company's capacity? No, I am selling it in a different capacity altogether because court asked me to do it. This capacity is called AJP's capacity, which means as a liquidator in the current year, I will now have to file 2 tax returns. One in my name for the liquidator commission I got. For the liquidator commission I got. Second, I will have to file a tax return in the name of the company's liquidation proceeds in the capacity of an AJP. And therefore, for that particular year, I will be given 2 PAN numbers, one in my name and one in AJP's name. Generally, if you go and check, all liquidators have 2 PAN numbers. They will have 1 PAN number in their personal name and 1 PAN number in the AJP's name because court would have given them that PAN number assignment. Yes, which is what I was telling you yesterday. Artificial juridical person appointed by court. There is only one person which court appoints. Liquidators. Yes or no? So liquidator is a very good example for an AJP model. If you ever try to become a liquidator in the future, you know you are eligible, right? You can become an insolvency professional. If you ever become an insolvency professional, you will be given a second PAN number in the name of AJP, where all the proceeds you get from the company will be taxed as an AJP guideline. And you will have to pay your own separate taxes in individual capacity. Don't merge the two things. Because think about it logically. My liquidator commission is my own money. If you start adding the company's money to my books, what will happen? What will happen? People, I may be a very small person company's proceeds and all will be in crores. Suddenly I am showing as I am a surcharge risk person. Does that make sense? No, obviously will not make sense. And to that extent, they have come and clarified AJPs are a liquidator. Any doubts on this? Clear to go? Yes, very good. That's the definition number 1, which is the person's definition. Are we clear enough to go? Yes, very good. Let's move on forward, people, to understanding the word called total income. Let's start with the word called total income. Now, before you start total income, you never asked me this question, so I have to unfortunately ask this question to you. Forget total income. Tell me what is income first. Any money earned. Money is important. Money is important. Okay. So tomorrow if I come and give you a jewelry for free gift. Rahul, Naman, gift given jewelry 70,000 rupees. Free gift. Naman has to pay tax, not pay tax. Head of income. Where is the money? Is the monetary value important? Need not be money, right? It can be in kind also. Next. Next. Anything else? Come on. This is inter-syllabus, people. Hey, you. Consideration for? Consideration itself means when a service is provided, you give consideration. I did not give a service. Because consideration I learned in contract act. To do something or not to do something. To have done something or not have done something. Abstain from doings. Big English. 2H. 2H, I think. 2H or 2F, I don't know.
Any proceeds in cash are kind in excess of the expenditure.
Oh. Any proceeds in cash or kind in excess of expenditure. Allowed expenditure is income. Yes? Oh, if something is taxable under 5H, it is an income, otherwise not an income. Not bad. No? Shall I ask questions? I'll give you scenarios, you tell me whether it is income or not an income. Yes, scenario number 1. Rahul has been selected by Amitabh Bachchan to go and join Kaun Banega Crorepati. Who wants to be millionaire? So Rahul goes there, Rahul plays some 15, 16 questions. 17th question, Amitabh Bachchan shouts, 7 crore! Rahul got 7 crores in his hand. Batao, income, not income. What is the expenditure? What is this called? Winnings. Very good. Income, not income? Income. Very good. Rahul was going on the road. Rahul on the road found a 500 rupees note. Rahul went to the 500 rupees note. Rahul kept it in his pocket. Tell me income, not income. Income, not an income. No. Free exempt, huh? People, this is a very good scheme then. From tomorrow, I will start selling you goods. From tomorrow, I'll start selling you goods, and when you give me money, I'm like, don't give me money. If you give me money, it'll become income. You do one thing, take the note, put it on the ground. I will go and collect on the ground. हम गिराए हुए पैसे भी उठाते हैं. Tell me income, not income. Now if I convince it's income only, no. Income, huh? Income. Okay, great. People, one day when we were sitting in the class, I did not realize, there is a back door on the back. Yes, I've never gone there. Even I have not gone there. But suddenly what happened, one day when I was going into the door and I was opening the door, I suddenly saw Pinadi one base of operations are going on. Huge base of operations are going on. There are people sitting there with credit cards. Yes, I found those people and I'm like, see boss, you're selling drugs. You're selling drugs. See, I am a very nice person. I will not report you to police. Request is very simple. 50-50. 50-50. You sell drugs, 50% is mine. 50% is mine. Tell me people, Rahul got share of income from drug sales. Income. Did not ask. Income, not an income. Income. Sure. Chalo, theek hai. People, Rahul was going back home, and Rahul, when he was going back home, unfortunately, on the middle of the road, the laptop fell. and therefore laptop broke. Yes, because laptop broke, nothing worth of the laptop. So what Rahul decided? OLX. So Rahul placed an order in OLX. Someone came and he took the OLX product and went, paid me 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees Rahul received for sale of his personal laptop. Head of income. Hey, you've paid tax on your personal laptops, is it? Capital gain. Sale of personal laptop is capital gains. Income. 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 Rahul received 5 crore rupees on his wedding day. Random people. I was standing on the podium, standing on the podium. People came, Rahul got 5 crore rupees in that. I don't know who gave me, but I got 5 crore rupees. That is the question, no? Income, not an income. Income, 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 income. Very good. People, Rahul was working in a company. Rahul was working in a company for 40 years. Yes, 45 years, 40 years later, company said, Rahul, you're doing an amazing job. I don't think we need your services anymore. Kindly get lost. And I'm like, sir, I am working in this company for 40 years. One thing I'm pretty sure, you have to give me gratuity and pension. You have to give me gratuity and pension. Rahul has stopped working in the company. After stopping to work in the company also, company continues to give Rahul pension. No efforts made, pure free money. Batao, income, not income. Why? Free money. Isn't this gift? Service is already provided. Oh. If you're a government job, you're not providing any service. No. People, one day I was like, you know what? I need really money. I am very short of cash. I have no money to do anything. And therefore, what I was doing is I was going on the road. I suddenly saw that there was a police officer standing. And I was like, boss, you're already earning enough, no? Yes. So when I was walking on the road, I suddenly dashed him. And when I was dashing him, I put my hand in his pocket. And I took away some 10,000. I took away some 10,000. His daily earnings, one part came to me. Matlab basically Rahul has done stealing, theft. Yes, 10,000 rupees Rahul got by theft. Which head of income will you tax? Unexplained. Huh? This is explained. I know, officer only. It is his unexplained, not my unexplained. I can explain. Tell me, income, not income. Income. Okay. People, when I was walking on the road, suddenly when I opened the door, I was sitting in my car, right? So when I was sitting in my car near the traffic signal, one woman came to me and she was not having a hand. And she came and told, sir, Bhagwan ke naam pe kuch de do. Yes, basically she's begging. The moment I was giving her 10 rupees, mine was thinking, I gave her 10 rupees, no. She did not do work also for this. Apo she might have received begging money. Begging, tell me people, begging money is income, huh? So that Sai Baba coil and all, you go give marigold biscuit. The moment you give marigold biscuit, income tax department will come and say, beta 30% of that. Half marigold I will dip, half marigold you dip. If we eat together only, love will grow, no? Tell me people, begging money is income, huh? Nahi pata? Oh my god. No. These are all inter-syllabus people, come on. No. People, imagine a case where what has happened is I was going to a hospital one day for getting some treatments and all done. Yes, when I was going into the hospital, I was seeing a lot of people were actually surrounding one specific ICU. I was wondering what the hell is happening there. I actually realized that there was actually illegal operations going there, human trafficking. They were literally taking people on the operation table and taking out their kidneys and hearts, donating it to other people. Human trafficking. Yes, blood, वो क्या बोलते हैं? Organ donor नहीं है ये. He's not willing itself. Organ theft. Organ theft. Yes. So all the doctors who were involved in this organ theft were getting 20/20 cut. which means for every organs they were selling, they were getting 20% cut. Yes, so 20% cut received by the doctor because he was stealing someone's organs. Tell me. Income, huh? Tell me, people. In this whole conclusion, what the hell is not an income? Okay, people, I did a transaction on Google Pay. I did a transaction on Google Pay, pay 10,000 rupees. The moment I was paying 10,000 rupees, suddenly Google Pay mein that blue color thing came. Scratch card. Yes, now Rahul knows his luck. Rahul every time scratched, always one answer came. Better luck next time. Yes, but my dad was lucky this time. When my dad was doing a 10,000 ka transaction, blue color ka scratch card, he swiped, he got 600 rupees in it. Tell me, people, 600 rupees received by my dad. GPay cashback. Isn't it not a net of expense? Technically, no. It's a net of expense, right? How is it an income? I paid 10,000, I got 600 back, net of expense, discount Mari. No. 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 People, I went to a bank. I told, dear bank, I want to buy a car. Give me. Rahul got a loan for buying a car. Tell me. Income. Sure. Why? After all these transactions, this one is not an income, is it? Here also you got money, no?
Yeah, we paid.
Obligation is there, Adanala. People, last time I checked Valentine's Day, if you give a gift, there is some obligations otherwise. I mean, sure. तुम्हारे चक्कर में relationship नहीं आ रहा है, हाँ. My question is very simple. When you say obligation, in a loan scenario, you're talking about an obligation of repayment of the same money. In a Valentine's Day scenario, obligation may be in non-monetary terms, non-materialistic activities. Is that still an obligation enough to call it non-income? Technically, there's consideration both areas, no? 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 People, I am a shareholder of a company. I went to my company and I said, sir, I want some loans and advances. Income, not income. Not an income? Have you heard about 222E? Deemed dividend. Loans and advances received by a shareholder from his company is treated as a deemed dividend. Why is it not an income? Yes. Yes. Have you also heard the fact that when you sell your personal laptops and all, capital gain says it is fully exempt from tax? Do you know that? You know that capital gains basically comes and says you can only tax personal movable effects in the nature of jewelry, bullions, high value items. Personal items are not taxable under capital gains. A personal laptop is not taxable there technically, which means that is also not an income. The 5 crores I got on my marriage is also not an income because gift on occasion of wedding is fully exempt. Okay, then how did the deemed dividend happen? That was never an income but became an income. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see a problem? You see a problem? Yes. The right question you should have asked me is, Rahul Bhaiya, when you're asking income, are you asking in a generic term or are you asking from income tax perspective? Because from a generic term, something may be an income, something may not be an income. But I am not here to discuss with you general rules. I am here to discuss with you income tax. And therefore, the answer is rightly, as he mentioned, income means everything which income tax defines. Income means everything which income tax defines. Earlier it was 224, now it is 249. 249 defines the term of income, and income tax says, according to me, this is an income, which means everything falling here is an income, everything falling outside this is not an income, and that's the example to be kept in mind. For example, gift on and wedding is not an income because it is not defined under 249. Giving your personal laptop out is not an income because it is not defined in 249. But loans given by a shareholder, loans given by a company to a shareholder is an income because it is deemed dividend defined. Yes. So like he rightly mentioned, income basically means all those things which are covered under the 5 heads of income. Yes. Now, income tax was not that nice. So income tax did not make life easier. He did not come and say income means that which is defined in 5 heads. Income tax actually put the whole list down. In section 249, they basically put a list of 20-25 items and they came and said, this is according to me an income. And then later on, you decide where to classify. where to classify. They could have made it very easy. They could have come and said anything which is defined in the next subsequent chapters is an income. But they wanted to make life complicated enough. Yes. So you have around 40-45 items in income definition, which you and I are not going to study. You and I are going to make it very simple. If Rahul Bhaiya teaches you that in the next 5 heads of income, then it is. Otherwise, it is. Very good. That is the understanding for you. Yes. But I want you to think about this logically. People, every time I told you about a transaction where I was telling you that I'm doing drug dealing, smuggling and all, is it my regular business or is it my one-time activity? People, anyone doing drugs are doing regularly only. I'm not consuming drugs, I'm selling drugs. Both are regular only actually, but okay. Yes, the point is very simple. People, when something is very regular, you know money is coming in regularly. If money is anyway coming in regularly, do I have to define it to be an income? It now becomes a part of my business activity itself, in which case it should be always taxable. Up where should income tax be paying more attention to? Items which are one time. Like examples which I told about right now. Getting money on a wedding is a regular activity. No, one-time activity. Selling your personal laptop is a one-time activity. These are all items which are going to happen for the first time or maybe only once. May happen again also, but not frequently enough. Apo problem is where? Problem is with regular activities or problem is with one-time activities? Apo, can I clarify one thing to you? Income basically can be split into two buckets. One is called revenue receipt. The other is called capital receipt. When you say something is revenue receipt, there is no discussion to take place. It is always taxable because you're doing it regularly. Intention there is to make this as your part of your bread and butter. This is where your livelihood is working on. Yes, when your livelihood is working based on this, it has to be taxable. There is no doubts otherwise. I may end up giving some exemptions to you, but technically it is an income. The problem comes when it is capital receipt. When it is capital receipt, here is where income tax will have to play a thought that boss, maybe this capital receipt is high value item. Apo tax it. Or maybe it is not an high value item. Therefore, exempted. Yes or no? Yes. Apo your and mine discussion majorly will sit around revenue receipt or capital receipt. Exactly. Are we clear on this? Yes. Now I want you to think about this logically and tell me, when do you classify something to be regular? When do you classify something to be capital? How do you identify that a transaction should be revenue or capital is the question. Frequency. If something happens regularly, it is revenue receipt. If something happens once in a while, question. Dividends. Dividends is why? You don't know when the company will give it to you. From your perspective, you are not very clear. From your perspective, you may expect the dividends will come every year, but the company may give it, may not give it. Control is not in your hand. Answer is capital receipt. Very well. Yes or no? Yes. So first classification, yes, you and I can agree saying if something happens regularly, it is revenue receipt. If something happens once in a while, it is capital receipt. Can I give you one more classification? People, look, I am going to sell what? I am going to sell machinery or stock? To sell stock, what do I need? Machinery. Matlab, if I am going to use an item to generate an item to sell, if I am going to use an item to generate an item to sell, the item which I used is capital. The item which I sold is revenue. Exactly. Yes or no? Yes. So by that definition, if I sell machinery, it is capital. If I sell stock, it is, which means if I am going to get income from the activity itself, it is revenue. But if I'm going to get income from an asset which is going to help the activity, then it is capital. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. Third, people question, I am planning to sell shares. I am planning to sell shares. Tell me, revenue, capital. On. Very good. Depends on my nature of business. People, if I am a share trader, revenue. If I am a normal teacher, capital, which means now I am asking you the same question. What is your livelihood reasonings? If you tell me this is going to be depending on my livelihood, then it is revenue. If it is not going to affect my livelihood, then it is capital. Hayana. That is how the frequency works, people. So a revenue and capital is allocated based on these parameters. Is there any doubts on this? Are we sure? Yes. This is where I am going to start teaching you a little bit of case laws from your final syllabus. Let's see if you're able to match things out. First things we have understood now how to classify between revenue and capital. Yes, I'm going to ask you some very simple questions. You're going to tell me what is the right answer. Assume I am an assessee. You are the judge of a court. Yes, the situation is very simple. Situation has happened in this manner. What has happened is Rahul went to a vendor. Rahul went to a vendor and said, I am planning to open a new company. For this new company, I need some machineries. My inauguration of the company is 2 days later. I have a very simple request. Kindly deliver the machinery tomorrow. I want the machinery in my premises tomorrow because day after tomorrow ribbon cutting ceremony is there. I want the machinery in my factory. Otherwise, it look very bad. I have called Amitabh Bachchan and all to come and inaugurate the house. If there is nothing there inside the factory, it look very ugly. The vendor came and said, sir, I'll promise on the top of my life, you will get the machinery tomorrow. I'm like, see, I don't trust about your promises and all. What am I going to do with it? I have a very simple request. Machinery will cost 10 crores. I will pay you 10 crores tomorrow itself if I get the machinery on time. But if the machinery does not come to me tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you have to pay me penalty. Who has to pay me? The vendor has to pay me penalty of 3 crore rupees because that is the expenses I'm going to incur for my inauguration. You understood what I did? Yes. So the condition is very simple. If I get the machinery, I pay 10 crores. If I don't get the machinery, he will pay me 3 crore rupees for not fulfilling the contract. Unfortunately, people, tomorrow it is heavy raining. Machinery did not get delivered. Day after tomorrow, inauguration got spoiled. I was not able to conduct the inauguration and therefore I got pissed off. I immediately went to him. I was like, cancel the order. I don't want the machinery itself. I'm not going to take the 10 crores worth of machinery. In return, give me 3 crores. Question is very simple. Rahul has now received 3 crore rupees for default of not receiving the machinery on time. Revenue receipt, capital receipt. Why? One time. Very good. This is the Supreme Court decision which you have as a part of your syllabus. Supreme Court decision number 1 was from Saurashtra Cements. Saurashtra Cements decision basically talks on these lines. Not very important, people, but I'm showing it out to you. Saurashtra Cements basically came and said, any person receiving liquidated damages. What is liquidated damages? Penalty. Any person receiving liquidated damages for delay in supplying of machinery is directly and intrinsically linked to the capital asset and therefore will be treated as a capital receipt. Will not be taxable in your P&L. Will only be treated as capital receipt. At this stage, then I will come and ask you a very valid question. Tell me, you have now received the money. It's a capital receipt. Should it be taxable? If you want to do that, my question is very simple. Which head of income? Is it salaries? HP? Capital gains? IFOS or PGBP? Is it IFOS or PGBP? If you find the right answer, people, you'll have the answer already. Because understand, if you put it in PGBP, the answer is different. If you put it in IFOS, the answer is different. Think very carefully. This is PGBP. People, the asset is of your business. This is a pure business activity. Yes, you made some capital transactions in your PGBP. It may not be regular enough, but it is still a business activity and therefore it gets taxed under PGBP. Now, why am I telling you this? People, if it was IFOS, I would have said not taxable. Why? You have a list of IFOS items. And in that IFOS items, if you notice, IFOS items only has gift for a taxability. Is this a gift? No. It will not be taxable in IFOS. But if you put it in PGBP, I can say this is benefit or perquisite received in the course of a profession, which becomes fully taxable. Yes or no? So see, classification made a huge impact. Correct, not correct? Yes. Understood the example? Any doubts on this? Example number 2. People, scenario is very simple. Issue, what has happened is Rahul was running a Jio SIM card business. My job is to sell SIM cards. Yes. At one stage, what has happened is the Jio ownership team came to me and said, Rahul, you're doing an amazing job. So much amazing that we are making losses. So amazing that you're doing that we are making losses. Kindly shut down and get lost. I'm like, sir, hold. Unfortunately, you and I signed a contract. And the contract comes and says, you cannot take away my ownership franchisee for the next 3 years. You are coming to me in year number 1 and asking me to shut down operations. I am not happy with this decision. If you want me to shut down the operations, I need Compensation. I need compensation. Now Jio had a choice. Either they will let me continue for another 2 years, because of which they will shut down, or they will ask me to shut down by giving compensation. Yes, Rahul was agreed to give a compensation of 10 lakhs. So Rahul has now received 10 lakh rupees compensation for shutting down his business. But our revenue capital. Why? Not? Business is no longer there. Okay. Not a frequent transaction. Very well. People, imagine scenario number 3. Scenario number 3 is Rahul this time has a shop itself. And in this shop, Rahul sells all SIM cards. Rahul is selling Jio also, Airtel also, Vodafone also, Idea also, everything Rahul is selling. Yes. At one stage, Jio came to me and came and said, Rahul, I'm seeing a problem in your shop. You're selling multiple SIM cards, because of which our sales is coming down. I want you to become an exclusive partner. I was like, sir, I'm sorry, I cannot become an exclusive partner and all. Your sales is not doing well in my region itself. If I cannot become an exclusive partner, I will sell everything only. Jio gave me an ultimatum. Jio said, I'm sorry, sir, either you become an exclusive partner or I will take away my contract. I was like, sir, you take away contract, I am not going to become exclusive partner. Yes, but at this stage, I also told him the same thing. Sir, your contract with me says 3 years. You want to exit before, you have to pay me compensation. At this stage, Rahul is receiving 10 lakhs compensation from Jio only to delete his franchisee. My business is still alive. I can still sell Airtel and Jio SIM card, Airtel and Vodafone SIM cards. Jio alone will not be sold anymore. Tell me people, compensation received for terminating one business. Revenue capital. Answer is revenue. Answer is revenue. Think logically. People, in the first scenario, when I got 10 lakh rupees, my business itself was shut down. You have questioned my livelihood. My bread and butter has been taken away. That becomes a capital receipt. But now, even if I stop selling Jio, what will happen? I can still sell other things. My business is still going to continue. And this is a normal business dealing. Tomorrow, Airtel can also come and ask the same thing. Tomorrow, Vodafone can also come and ask the same thing. Matlab, this is a normal business decision. Is it affecting my livelihood? No. If it is not affecting my livelihood, does it have to become capital? Answer is no. Answer is no. This becomes a revenue transaction, which is where, if you remember, when I did classification, I told you third one. If it is affecting your livelihood, then it is capital. If it is not affecting your livelihood, it is revenue. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear? Yes. Example number 3. People, I was working in a company as an employee. I was working in a company as an employee. Company was paying me salary. Yes. After a year, company came and said, I'm sorry, Rahul, I don't have space for you anymore. We are terminating you. And I said, sir, termination all is fine. You have to pay me severance pay. You know what is severance pay? Retrenchment compensation. Severance pay, money given to you because they have exited you out. They have exited you out. Tell me people, severance pay which Rahul got for terminating my employment is by. Very good. People, I am an employee. My livelihood itself is to work. Tomorrow, if you take away that from me, I don't have anything else to do. Therefore, this becomes a capital receipt. Any doubts on this part? Are we sure? Yes. Scenario number 4. Rahul has got gift from his company because Rahul did an amazing job in the current year. Rahul did a very big sale, and because of that big sale, company handed over a TV to me in my hand. TV to me in my hand. Gift received by Rahul as an employee from a company. Why? Huh? मान के देख. Why? Normal course में you get salary or gift. Bonus comes also once in a year only. That too is depending on your performance. Deemed, I am not questioning whether it's salary or not. I know it is taxable. My question is capital or revenue. Why? How does that make a difference? Retrenchment also you got it only because you are in employment. Therefore, People, here is where you have to understand. I told you there are three ways to differentiate. Yes, and you need to be smart enough to realize which differentiation will work here. Right now, the problem is not of the livelihood. Right now, the problem is of the frequency. And this is not a frequent transaction enough, because this matches with the first example I gave you. When I talked about dividends, people, is it in your control? You will never know whether the dividends will come to you or not. Similarly, when I'm talking about gift, do you know you'll always get a gift? Control is never in your hand. When the control itself is taken away from you, the answer automatically becomes capital receipt. Ayana. Yes. Similarly, people, I am running a business. My business is to sell TVs. I was selling Samsung TVs so much. At some stage, Samsung came to me and said, sir, I'm very happy with your performance. Here is a free London ticket. Here is a free London ticket. Why don't you go travel and come? Sponsored by me. Yes. So my supplier is sponsoring me a London ticket to go and travel, visit and come. I have got a free London ticket. Gift only, no. Tell me, gift received by Rahul from selling Samsung TVs. Why? Same thing. People, do you know that the Samsung will always give you a gift? Frequency has become a question mark. Answer is capital receipt. Any doubts on this? Yes, third one. Rahul is receiving a gift on his wedding. Thank God. Why? Gift a wedding a? Acha. Obviously, people, yes, legally speaking, you will always get married once only. हम एक बार जीते हैं, एक बार मरते हैं, प्यार भी एक ही बार होता है, शादी भी एक ही बार होती है. हाँ हाँ. Yes, ये सब बोलने के बाद शाहरुख खान is getting married twice in that movie. Idiot. Yes, point is, people, very simple. At the end of the day, wedding is once an activity, and therefore gifts are also once an activity, which means by definition, can I clarify one thing? Gift is always capital, whether you get it in employment or business or other reasons, doesn't matter. Yes, gift is always going to be capital in nature. Any doubts on this? Yes, so logically thinking, people, I told you compensation for an asset, capital. Compensation for shutting down only business, capital. Compensation for shutting down one business activity, revenue. Compensation received for employment, capital. Gift received, capital. I can modify the question a little bit more. People, imagine Rahul as a supplier. Supplier's job is to give me inventory. Yes, so I have a very simple request from him. Boss, if I place an order, 5 days later, inventory should be in my hand, just in time. Yes, problem what has happened is, once only, not many times, once what has happened is, unfortunately, delivery came to me on 6th day. My lead time got affected. My working capital got affected. So I went to him, I shouted at him. I was like, boss, you should have given it to me yesterday. You gave it to me today. I am very pissed off with you. I want compensation. I got 3 lakh rupees because he delayed the delivery of inventory. Why? Very good. The answer is very simple. Here comes classification number 2. If you remember, I told you, when I am selling the item directly, all incomes relating to it is revenue. When I'm using an item to sell something else, all incomes relating to that is capital. Here I did not get compensation for my default. I got compensation for an inventory. An inventory is a revenue item. Therefore, this becomes a revenue receipt. You see what I'm doing? Yes, basically, people, every example can work with different logics. For some examples, I may choose livelihood. For some examples, I may choose frequency. For some examples, I may choose my nature of business. And for some examples, I may choose what is it related to. What is it related to? Any doubts on this? Are you sure? Can I give you a complicated case law? Yes, the complicated case law was like this. Situation happened like this, people. There was a company called Honda. Have you heard about this? Yes. There was a company called CL. There were a company called Honda. There were a company called CL. These two companies were sitting outside India. Yes, what happened is they wanted to establish their presence in India. To establish their presence in India, they decided, how do we come in? Now, logically, people, both are two separate companies. They cannot come into India just like that. They were not going to amalgamate just for coming to India. So what did they decide? Let's make a, very good. Let's decide to make a JV. So what has happened is, Honda and CL have now decided to make a JV, which is now called as Honda CL. Obviously, creativity. Yes or no? Yes. People, now to create a JV, you need a agreement. So what happened? Honda and CL have entered into an agreement. agreement to do a JV. Yes. Now people logically, for those who know international transactions, Honda is sitting outside India. CL is also sitting outside India. Up Honda CL, whatever profits they make, they have to send it back. You have to send it back. At the same time, people, because it is a JV, you will need support from your parents. So Honda CL will ask support from Honda also, CL also. Ayana. At this stage, what happened is they entered into an agreement. For those who have handled transfer pricing matters, you know generally you have something called HQ charges. Heard about it? You start making payments to your group companies, HQ charges, royalties and all those things. Similarly, for JV agreements, we create something called as a TCA. Technical Collaboration Agreement. Technical Collaboration Agreement is an agreement where now Honda will come and say, I will provide you support. Who am I? Honda. Support to whom? Honda CL. In return, you have to pay me technical fees, professional fees, technical fees, whatever you call it. Yes. So in return, you have to pay me something called HQ charges. Let's take it that way. Let's take it that way. Similarly, CL also came and said the same thing. I am also going to provide you technical support. So therefore, I want you to pay me HQ charges. HQ charges. Any doubts on this? Are we sure? Yes. At this stage, people, what happened? Honda CL is now paying HQ charges to Honda also, CL also every year. Every single year he is paying this payment, and therefore he booked it in his P&L, saying that this is a recurring expense. Officer looked into this transaction. Officer said, I'm sorry, I will not accept this to be a revenue expense. This is a capital expenditure. Don't treat it as revenue expense. This is a capital expenditure. Disallow it from your books and capitalize it off. If you want, you claim depreciation. I don't care, but I'm not giving you P&L expense. You are the judge of the court. Question is very simple. I had to pay HQ charges to Honda because they were providing me support. If I don't pay this HQ, what will happen? They will have to close my business out. Because obviously, I am a JV. I am only working because of them. Tomorrow, if I don't pay this money, they will shut me down. Which means I have to for sure pay this obligation. It is not something I can avoid. Which means if I don't pay HQ, I will shut down. If I pay HQ, I'll be alive. Tell me, revenue, capital. Very good. Anyone else? There's no distribution of profits. I have to mandatory pay this. I don't have an option. Distribution of profits would become a case where I have an option to not pay dividends. This is the case where I have to mandatory pay it every year. Whether I make profit or not, I will have to make the payment. That is what HQ is all about. Frequencies are there for revenue. See, here is where the problem comes. When you look at the classification, there are three classifications: frequency, livelihood, and nature of. Which one should pick is the question now. This is where judges are having a huge problem in the market. They are not clear on which one to use. You have to make a wild guess. What did Honda CL tell? Supreme Court in this judgment said revenue, capital, revenue, capital, revenue. What are they? Answer is capital. Answer is capital. Yes, the frequency was there, no doubts about it, but frequency has nothing to do when the livelihood is impacted. At the end of the day, tomorrow, if you don't make the payment, they will immediately shut down the business. Matlab, this payment is intrinsically linked to my nature of business itself. I will not be able to survive unless this payment is made. Matlab, this is like me making a payment of intangible asset. Because every time he gave me service, I made him a payment. Every time he gave me a service, I made him a payment. Matlab, I am completely, wholly dependent on this person. And therefore, this has to become a capital expenditure. Yes or no? Yes. Now, my question is very simple. Forget this. You have seen it in your market practice itself. People paying HQ charges. And every time you see it will be a revenue expenditure. Your P&Ls have revenue. Tell me why. Supreme Court has confirmed, no, this is capital. Why are you people charging it in revenue? Why is your officers allowing it right now for you? Why?
It's just like a service, like your operation will not shut down because
The legal entity is important. Notice very carefully in your structures, every time you have made a payment to your group company, you were a separate company and group was a separate company. Matlab, Your legal existence cannot be updated. Yes, at the end of the day, max to max, what can happen? You stop paying HQ charge, group will say you're not part of my group. Can he shut you down? No. Here they will shut you down because you don't have a separate presence. You are a JV. You have to work with them. Ayana. Yes, which means at this stage your legal entity made an impact because you're a separate company and they're a separate company. Your HQ charges became revenue. But in a Honda CL model, JV was dependent on that parent and therefore they had to shut down otherwise. Therefore, it became a capital expenditure. Honda CL was one of the classic cases after which most of the companies decided to not create a JV in India, but to rather create a separate subsidiaries. Separate subsidiaries, that is what the case law was. Any doubts on the case law? Yes, this is what the case law is. Honda CL Supreme Court judgment of 2017. The judgment says when a technical collaboration agreement has been entered into for setting a JV, or setting a, what is the important part here? JV is the important part. And TCA is such that upon termination of the agreement, the JV will also come to an end. In that case, any technical fees which is paid will be treated as capital expenditure and therefore called as intangible asset. Yes, it cannot be treated as revenue expenditure merely on the grounds that it is paid frequently. Just because you paid frequently, I don't care. It is not going to be called revenue based on that because your livelihood gets impacted here. Yes, and that is why this became a capital expenditure. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Now, if you notice, these two case laws are adjustment related case laws. But these case laws can be part of your PGBP question. Yes, suddenly you'll get an adjustment in exam. The adjustment will come and say technical collaboration agreement fees paid for creating a JV in India. The amount has been debited to P&L. What will you say? Disallow and charge depreciation. Disallow and charge depreciation. Ayana. Yes. Second, you may get a question. The question may come and say liquidated damages received for default in procuring capital asset. Item has been charged to P&L. What will you say? No adjustment. Very good. No adjustment. People, you have received money. It may be a capital receipt, but at the end of the day, which head of income is it taxable under? PGBP only. Apo, it was anyway taxable. Is it there in the P&L? Is it there in the P&L? Yes. Should it be there in P&L? Yes. Therefore, ignore adjustment. I can give you an alternate question. I may say liquidated damages received for an asset. Amount has been treated as capital and charged off to general reserve. Now what will you say? It may be a capital receipt, but at the end of the day is taxable. Is it there in the P&L? Should it be there in P&L? Kindly add the answer. Yes or no? Yes. So these are all your computational case laws, people. What we will be doing as we progress in the batches, all computational related case laws, I will put it in one single page and give it to you so that becomes easy for revision. Yes, because like I told you, for your CA final syllabus, you have around 200 case laws. In the 200 case laws, around 150 case laws will be administrative case laws. Administrative matlab they'll come and say, is the process correct? Have you done the job properly or not? Is that going to affect your answers? No, those will be separate standalone theory question, which is question number 5, which if I remember, I told you question number 5 is skipped. Question number 5 is skipped because question number 5 is completely theory. You have case laws in it, assessment procedure, appeal procedure, and then your international standards. Everything is a skippable topic. Matlab, if I can clarify to you that in the 200 case laws, you have to only read 50. E.g., that is what we are going to do. Eventually, we'll get to that stage, people. Right now, not important. Any doubts on this part? Are we sure on this? Yes. Which one? For the second one, if I'm getting liquidated damages, if I'm receiving penalty because they did not give the asset on time, is it a capital or revenue receipt? Capital receipt. At that stage, I will ask you which head of income is it taxable? PGBP. And PGBP says any capital receipt is taxable. At that stage, what is the answer? It should be taxable, which means I will come and ask in the exam, what have you done in the P&L? If you tell me it is already there in P&L, I will say the treatment is correct. Therefore, adjustment is not required. If you say the P&L does not have the income, I will say treatment is wrong. Please add it to the P&L. That's the answer for you. Because revenue receipts in income tax is always taxable. A capital receipt has to be taxable only when income tax clarifies to you. Yes, that is why I told you the head of income became important. Had you put it under IFOS, I would have said IFOS does not have this as a capital receipt. Matlab, I would have told it exempt. Because you put it under PGBP, it became taxable. You see what happened? So basically what happened is, if it was revenue receipt, I would have told it is taxable regardless of the head. But because it is capital receipt, I have to now ask you a question, which head are you putting it under? If you told me it is PGBP, I will go and check PGBP head. Is it sitting there? Yes, and therefore taxable. If you told me it is IFOS, I'll go to IFOS and I'll say, is it sitting there? No, and therefore it is exempt. That's the difference. No, that's the point. No, even if you want to tax it in other sources as other income, the law is the same. No, the law comes and says what? Revenues are taxable. Capitals are only taxable when I specified under section 249. IFOS income definition has to specify it. So income definition of 249 has to specify it to be a capital receipt. Only then can I tax it for you. Which is what, if you remember, I told you, if you have a personal asset which you sell, is it a revenue or capital thing? Capital thing. At which stage I'll come and ask you which head of income? Capital gains. Now if you go to capital gains will come and say personal assets are not taxable, and therefore I will say exempt. But if you told me this was your business laptop, I will ask you revenue, capital still. At this stage I will come and ask you which asset is it? Business asset. Capital gains, PGBP says taxable. You understand? So the flow of the diagram is very simple. Look at the transaction. First identify revenue, capital. If you tell revenue, always taxable. If you tell capital, I will ask second question, head of income. And then I will go to the head of income to confirm if it is taxable or not. Are we clear? Yes. As we progress after chapter number 1, Rahul Bhaiya will give you something called golden rules of tax, specially designed by Rahul Bhaiya. Yes. Where I'll give you the whole format and I'll tell you what is that you have to follow. You follow it properly, all answer will come out right. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear? Yes, perfect. Now let's move on forward, people, to understanding income has been split into two. Revenue, very good. And he gave and clarified to me something. You forget revenue, capital. First of all, I want to know, how do you tell something is an income? How do you tell something is an income? Question number 1. Does income necessarily have to be in cash? No, it can be in kind also. Does income necessarily have to be legal? No, it can be illegal also. That is where unexplained income comes into picture. Does income have to be regular? No, income can be once also. That is what capital receipt is. And 4 is the most important question. How do you identify an income? How do you identify an income? Simple case. My question is, Rahul is selling a goods of 5 lakhs. Rahul had to pay 2 lakhs. Up Rahul's income is 3 lakhs. What did you do? Revenue minus expenses. Yes. So income, can I clarify to you, means revenue minus expenses. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. Now I want you to think on this logic a little bit more. Yes. People, there was a case of 1980s. There was a guy called Mr. T.A. Qureshi. T.A. Qureshi karke, there was a guy in 1980s. Qureshi was into drug business. He was selling drugs, illegal business, completely illegal drug business. He never reported a single rupee tax to India. One day, someone got to know that he's selling drugs. Police officers had a raid in the factory. They went and they put a raid in the factory, and when they were putting a raid in the factory, unfortunately, gunfighting started. In the gunfighting, unfortunately, what happened? All the drugs caught fire. All the drugs caught fire. Factory got burnt. Factory completely got burnt. Not even a single drug is left. Yes. At this stage, luckily, Qureshi was caught, and so Qureshi was put in jail. The moment he was spending his time in jail, income tax department went to Qureshi for obvious reasons. What? You have not paid your tax for those long, people. Please pay me tax. It was an illegal income, but now I know it. No, so tax that to 78%. That to 78%. So what happened? Mr. Income Tax Department went to Qureshi in the jail and came and said, boss, I found your records, and the records I see you have made 10 crores of revenue. You made 10 crores of revenue. 78% I want. Matlab 7.8 crores I want. 7.8 crores I want. Tell me, is he wrong? No, valid. You should pay 7.8 crores. Qureshi was smarter than him. Qureshi came and said, sir, wait karo. 10 crores is what? Revenue. Hey, 2 months ago, your idiot friends came to my factory and burnt everything off. I have now passing an entry in my P&L. P&L is called loss by fire. You have a P&L entry, no? You pass an entry called loss by fire. Loss by fire, you passed an entry. Loss by fire was 12 crores. People, my revenue is 10 crores. Loss by fire is 12 crores. I made a 2 crores ka loss. At this stage, I went to income tax department. I was like, sir, if 10 crores was a profit, I will pay tax. 2 crores is a loss. You pay tax. You pay tax, huh? Very good. You will say, sir, this illegal business I never reported, but I had some legal business in which I paid tax. No. Now this loss you set off with that income. Up whatever extra tax I paid there, I want refund. Department was like, hey, Ivlo Varsho, you didn't pay tax. Now you're asking refund where? Ah. People allowed, not allowed? Yeah, pa. Income na? Revenue minus expense na? Enna prachna? It's the same nature only. Drug business, drug business.
Will not apply on this most important.
What will not apply? It is a revenue. Loss by fire is revenue expense only. That is what you put in P&L, right? That is what they would have taught you. Accounts entry is called purchases. Sorry, loss by fire account, debit to purchases account. P&L entry, then. Tell me, people, is Qureshi wrong? Is Qureshi wrong? Is Qureshi wrong? No, he is not. No, he is not. This matter actually ended up traveling to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court said Qureshi is correct, give him refund. It was literally identified saying Qureshi is correct and he was eligible for refund. That is the date when income tax realized, oh shit, my definition of income is wrong. Income is not revenue minus expense. Income is revenue minus allowable expense. Very good. Income is revenue minus allowable expense. At that stage, definition got changed. Definition became revenue minus allowable expense. And if you know 115 BBE, which was unexplained income in the past, currently it is called 195. Section itself clarifies no expenditure can be claimed as a deduction. No expenditure can be claimed as deduction. Matlab now 10 crores pe tax I want. Not even a single rupee I am giving you as an expense. As an expense, I want 10 crores pe pura tax. No expenditure will be given to you. That is the benefit of special incomes. You know there are special incomes, right? Items like capital gains is not special. Lottery, very good. Casual incomes. One more. Unexplained income. Then we have something called VDA. Cryptos, virtual digital assets. All these things come and clarify whatever money you earn, fully taxable. Not even a single rupee can be claimed as deduction. Yes, by that logic, people, unfortunately, while Qureshi won that case, we got stuck. Because if you think about it logically, imagine today I'm selling drugs. Imagine today I'm selling drugs. I sold drugs for 10 crores. People, to sell drugs, I have to make drugs. I might have incurred 6 crores ka drug cost, purchases expense. Yes, so I purchased drugs for 6 crores. I sold a drug for 10 crores. I made a profit of 4 crores. Tomorrow, department caught me. He will ask me to pay tax on. Huh? He'll ask me to pay tax on at the rate of 10 crores ka my revenue, 78% tax is 7.8. Now earn panade profit is 4 crores now. I earned only 4 crores, you're asking me 7.8. Where will I get money from? Ayana. At this stage, what will they say? Beta, your loss. You do one thing, whatever legal money you have, from that also you give me. Ilana, I will start taking over your personal assets. I will seize all your assets. If money is still not alive, I will call you insolvent. I'll declare you insolvent, bankrupt, I'll take away. Yes, which is why people in India doing illegal is not bad. Getting caught is worst. Yes, as long as you are safe. See, nothing is wrong as long as you're never caught. Yes or no? You can do everything wrong as long as you're never caught. The day you're caught, you'll be screwed. Yes, and therefore unexplained income is the most riskiest place to play. They say no, higher risk, higher rewards. Yes, so huge risk there because no tax. But at the same time, huge rewards also. Yes, so you have to be very careful because if you get caught, screwed only life. Yes, it will become very ugly for you at that point of time. Any doubts on this part? Yes, so income we have understood right now, people, in a very, very clear sense. Income matlab things which are legal or illegal, one time or regular, cash or kind. Always income is revenue minus allowable expenses, and revenue can be split into two buckets. revenue receipt or capital receipt. Revenue is always taxable. Capital is only taxable when 249 clarifies it. 249 clarifies it. Any doubts on this part? Are we sure? Yes. To complete the definition of gives me the last topic, people. The last topic is what is called as diversion of income. Have you heard about this word? Anyone? No? We have something called application of income. Yes, ma. Expenditure is also classified, no? Revenue capital. It's a revenue expenditure. No? Loss by fire is of your stock. Any expenses relating to stock becomes. It didn't get closed. Who told you it got closed? The factory got shut down. The factory got shut down. Business never got closed. He could have very well done the business if he was out of jail. That factory got shut down, but he might be getting drugs from other people also, no? Not very valid enough. Yes? Any doubts? Yes. People, if you have never understood this, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Question is like this. Imagine a case where Rahul is working in a company. Yes, company's name is Momo Limited. What is Rahul supposed to get? Momos a day. People, you get money and buy food, don't get food itself. Yes, so Rahul is going to get salary. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Now what Rahul has done is, Rahul is feeling a little nice today. So Rahul felt, you know what, salary, big money in my hand. Yes, why should I have so much money to myself? Let's become philanthropist. Matlab? Donate money. So what Rahul did is, Rahul find a charitable organization. Charitable organization was So-so Trust. Yes. So Rahul went to So-so Trust and Rahul said, Rahul got a salary of 10 lakhs. Rahul donated 7 lakhs off. Rahul donated 7 lakhs off. Tell me people, today, Rahul's income is. Bye. What is application of income? So income is what? Revenue minus expense, hai na? Tell me people, what is my income? 10 lakhs? Are we sure? Yes, good. I am going to follow the same example. Imagine in this scenario, now what has happened is, Rahul went to Momo Limited and Rahul came and said, dear Momo Limited, see, you have to pay me 10 lakhs. Now you pay me 10 lakhs, I go and give 7 lakhs, too much hassle. Too much hassle. I have a small request. You pay me 3 lakhs. Very good. So you pay me 3 lakhs ka salary and from your end itself, you itself do a GPay transaction to So-so Trust of 7 lakhs. Question. What is Rahul's income? Why? Transfer. Answer is 10 lakhs. Substance over form, people. Substance over form. At the end of the day, the money was Rahul's only. Rahul decided to skip it off. Yes. If you have understood this example, I'm going to give you the more complicated one. The complicated example is like this. Situation happened that there was a father. Yes. The father had, let's say for example, a house. And in that house, the father was getting 50 crores current. The father was getting 50. We don't talk small numbers, people. We are rich people. Yes, so we are talking about 50 crores ka rent. What has happened is, father has 4 sons. S1, S2, S3 and S4. Yes, situation happened is that father is a little sick. He knows he's going to die. He knows he's going to die. So obviously he's going to create a will. And in that will he's come and told, I have a very simple request. This house is very dear to me. So none of my sons are allowed to sell it off. None of my sons are allowed to sell it off. If you want, you live in the house, I don't care. But don't sell it off. For the love of God, don't sell it off. I will treat the contract as void. And condition 2. If you make any money from this house, you can share it between all the 4 sons. I have no problem. With a condition, after my death, I'm pretty sure you will not take care of my lovely wife. Your mother may not be treated properly. So I have a very simple condition. In that income, who says this? Father. Father is saying, in that income, whatever money you get, 10% of the money should be handed over to my wife. balance 90 you can share. Balance 90 you can share. You understood the example? You understood the example? Yes. So what has happened is father has died. Property has been sent off to the kids. The property has come to the kids. Number which is coming to the kids is 50 crores. Number which is coming to the kids is 50 crores. Tell me each kid is eligible for 12.5. Each kid is eligible for 12.5. So 12.5, 12.5, 12.5 and 12.5 has been earned by each child. Each child. Income tax has come to the childs and income tax have come and told, dear children, time to pay tax. Time to pay tax. Question is very simple. How much is each childhood income? Five will 10.
10 crores.
What is 10 crores?
Like the wife would be entitled to 10%, right?
So in that 50 crores, technically 10% will go to the mother, which means 5 crores is out. Matlab, children are eligible for 45 crores. This 45 crores is going to get split. Number is 11.25. Now my question is very simple. Childhood a bank account let 12.5 came. Childhood a bank account let 12.5 came. Child took from the 12.5 some money, sent it off to mother, has remaining 11.25. Has remaining 11.25. Tell me, child has to be taxable for 12.5 or 11.25? 5.
It's established for the mother.
Please, a child will only 11.25 years.
The trust is also the same thing, no? Whose choice? People logically in the trust example, I received 10 lakhs, I gave off 7 lakhs. Here also I received 12.5, I gave off some money to make one. Sorry?
Rahul wanted to pay us to a source of trust. 7 lakhs to be paid. But here the sons are liable to pay the mother of the 5 crores.
What is the difference exactly?
That is a condition for the second.
The second case has a condition precedent which is affecting the contract. Whereas in the first condition, there is no condition precedent. What if people, I go to the company and I come and say, sir, ini mala every month pay 7 lakhs to my trust. Very good. Which means if I think about this very logically, people, the answer is with the person who's receiving the money. Look at it very logically. In the first scenario, who was receiving the money? Rahul. Appo who had to make the choice? Rahul. Rahul made the choice to give it off. Appo Rahul can also make the choice to not give it off. But in the second scenario, who's receiving the money? Son. Who made the decision? Father made the decision. Did the son ever have a choice? Which means son never had the control over the money itself. Yes or no? Yes. Appo look at this very carefully and tell me. Left side is called application of income. I have money, I have applied it. Right side is called diversion of income. I never had the money itself. I was only acting as an intermediary or an agent. I was never eligible for the 1.25 itself because it was never in my hand. I was simply collecting the money on behalf of my mother. Hayana. Hayana. Yes. Tell me, people, when you look at a question, how do you decide whether it is application or diversion? The person receiving the money has a choice or doesn't have a choice, which means I should be the person to make the choice. If I am the person to make a choice, it is application. Whatever I receive is taxable. If I don't have a control over it itself, then it is not taxable in my hands. It is taxable for the other person. This is an established decision in India. It's not given in any part of Income Tax Act, but Supreme Courts have made clarifications on this, that something can become application and something can become diversion. Which one is taxable? Application is taxable. Any doubts on this part? Very good. That's the next question. People, I'm going to modify the questions. You're going to give me an answer accordingly. Yes. Question number 2. In the right scenario, imagine father had not made a will itself. Son have money. Every son is receiving 12.5. And sons are very nice to their mother. So sons are like, mummy, because I am getting money from your husband only. or your husband's estates only. 1.25 I will send to you. 1.25 I will send to you. Now tell me son's income is full 12.5 because now it becomes application. Son has the control. Hello. Yes. Scenario 2. I am coming to the first scenario. In the first scenario, what has happened is when Rahul joined the company itself, company made an agreement with me and the agreement comes and says, dear Rahul, if you join my company, I am eligible to give you a salary of 10 lakhs. But because we are a very branded company and we like to help the society, I have a very simple request. In your agreement itself, I have modified it to the extent that you will never receive 10 lakhs in your hand. You will only receive 9 lakhs. 1 lakh will automatically go to Gujarat for setting up plants. For setting up plants. If you accept this condition only, I will let you sign the agreement and join me as a company employee. If you don't agree, you cannot join the company. You cannot join the company. Now, when Rahul signed the agreement itself, he signed saying company will give me 1 lakh rupees. Company will send off 1 lakh rupees to Gujarat. Tell me Rahul's income is. Why? Because there is no control with Rahul. The control is now with the. Very good. Which means, can I simplify it in this way? If the person receiving has the control, then it is application. If someone else is making your decision, it is diversion. I will not be taxable for it. I will not be taxable for it. Is there any doubts on this part? Your choice would be very simple. Either take the 10 lakhs or don't take anything. That was the only choice which was given, nothing else. You decide, no, do you want 10 lakhs or do you want nothing? Better to get 9? Worth enough to get 9, no? So it's better to get 9 than to get nothing enough. Yes, yes. This is the questions which you have from your syllabus, people. Pure theoretical questions, not important at all. I have not given this PDF to you, so please don't worry about it anyways. But I just want to see if you understand these kind of questions. Yes, take a second, read the question, tell me what the answer is. People online as well, make sure to read it properly. Read the question. Read the question. Yes, people, as a CA finance student, I have a very simple request. Reading question is great. Identifying the trigger areas are more important. Yes. So you and I, over the course of the journey, is going to do one thing. As you keep reading the question, you will be identifying what is the trigger area in the whole question, so that we can immediately identify whether what is taxable or not is taxable. Yes, I'm going to read the question. At certain stage, if you feel for you this is the trigger, you will stop me and I will mark that off. Yes, so I'm going to read the question for you. The question says, I am Mr. Bhargava, a leading advocate on a corporate law, decided to reduce his practice and accept briefs only for paying his taxes and making charity with the fees received on such brief. Any important thing in this? No, not relevant. In a particular case, he agreed to defend one case in Supreme Court on the condition that he will be provided with 5 lakhs for a public charitable trust that he would create. Is there a trigger area? What? On the condition, matlab choice is with Bhargava itself. It's very good. Which means the moment you see the case where it says on the condition, you know that the person who's making the control is Bhargava. Automatically answer is application of income. Amazing. See, we did not even complete the question. I know the answer already. Yes, look, it says he completed the case, he defended the company and paid the sum by the company. He created a trust of that sum by executing a trust deed. Decide whether the amount received by Bhargava is taxable in his hands. That's all. Yes is the answer. Yes is the answer. What will you write? You will say, people, if you have to write a 4-mark question in exam, what's the format of writing any theory question? Very always provision first. Always provision first. Next, facts of the case. Give the analysis and conclusion. Yes. So what will I write? I'll very simply come and say where a person receives the money on the condition that he can transfer the money to another party. This is treated as an application of income and thus is taxable in the hands of the assessee. In the present case, Bhargava has defended a case and has received 5 lakh rupees, which has been transferred to charitable trust, on the direction of Bhargava. Thus, this will be treated as application of income and will be taxable in the hands of Bhargava under the head PGBP. Yes. Now, if you want to enhance your question, you can write a little bit more. You can write the money donated to the trust can be claimed as a deduction under chapter 8 of the new income tax 2025. It's no more ATG, unfortunately. I think it's section 134. Yes, so now can be claimed as a deduction under section 134 of the Income Tax Act 2025 if the conditions are fulfilled. That's an additional line, not required, but good enough to write. Clear? Yes, you understand the template of the question. As we progress into the theoretical topics which will come in your examination, I will sit with you and write theory there. Yes, so that you understand how to present your English better, not just for direct tax, but for papers like audit and all. Yes, come on, question number 2. Right? What is the answer? Question says XYZ Limited has taken over the running business of a sole proprietor by a sale deed. As per the sale deed, XYZ Limited undertook to pay overriding charges of 15,000 per annum to the wife of the sole proprietor in addition to the sale consideration. Who has to pay? Company has to pay to the wife of the sole proprietor. Who made that decision? The sole proprietor would have made the decision. Up Rahul receiving money, company receiving the money does not have control itself. Yes, at this stage, the sale deed also specifically mentioned that the amount was charged on the net profit of XYZ, who had accepted that as a obligation, as a condition for purchase. Matlab, only if he does this, he will be given the contract. Matlab, control is completely with sole proprietorship. Is the payment of overriding charges to the wife of sole proprietor in the nature of diversion or application? Diversion. That's the answer. Simple, straightforward. Easy enough. Easy, people. Come on. People online, any doubts? Perfect. Come on. Right? Answer is, what is asking? Yes or no they're asking, no? Correct is correct, huh? Everyone thinks correct? Everyone thinks correct? Okay. Question says MKG agency is a partnership firm consisting of Mr. Chauhan and 3 major sons, father, 3 kids. Partnership deed provided that after the death of Mohan, business will be continued by the sons with the condition that firm has to pay 20% of the profit to the mother, Lakshmi. Mr. Mohan died in March 26. Firm got reconstituted and paid 1 lakh rupees to Lakshmi, crediting the same as deduction for their incomes. Crediting to the same as deduction for their incomes. Examine the correctness of the claim. I gave you the same example. Yes, looks like a diversion of income because control was with father. The correctness is yes. The correctness is yes. Now you'll see some case law on the bottom, people. The case law says CIT versus Nariman B. Barucha and Sons, 130 ITR 863. Yes. Do you have to refer this in exam? No, not relevant for exam at all. Yes, but I want you to understand how to read a case law. People, I've given you this. You have to tell me a couple of things. One, who filed the case? Who filed the case? CIT or Narasimhana? Sorry, Narimana. Who filed the case? CIT filed the case. person who files the case always sits on the left side. Yes, so it is always petitioner. Do you know what the right side is called? Very good. The right side is called respondent. Yes, notice one thing, people, when you file an appeal, always know that the person who's filing the appeal will always sit on the left side. The person who's responding will always sit on the right side, which means if you notice right now, this is a High Court decision. Who filed the case to High Court? CIT. What would have happened at IT-80? Favorable to assessee. Very good. It would have been a case of favorable to assessee at IT-80 level. High Court may we filed a case, department filed a case saying no, this is not valid. Unfortunately, they lost there also. Which means technically the matter got settled in favor of assessee, both at IT-80 and High Court level. They maybe did not go to Supreme Court itself because they thought inimale pace thevella. Yes, that is what happened. But I've given you the reference, people. In 1981 is year of filing the appeal or year of getting the order? It is year of filing the appeal. It is not the year of getting the order. It is a year of filing the appeal. 130 is your volume number. 130 is your volume number. ITR means income tax reference. 863 matlab page number of the volume, and BOM means Bombay High Court. Very good. Yes, see, now you know how to read a case law. Yes, that is how case laws work, people. I think I'm seeing someone on the top also. See, it one says JIT and PAL X-Rays Private Limited versus CIT. This time GIT passed the case. Matlab IT-80 level mein he would have lost. And this is coming from ALL, Allahabad High Court. It's coming from Allahabad High Court. 2004 ka case hai, 267 ITR 370. That is how you read a case law. Any doubts on this one? Are we clear enough? Yes, easy questions, people. Useless ones. The question which you asked. The question says Anand was the Karta of HUF. He died leaving behind his major son Prem, his widow, his grandmother and brother's wife. Once again, Prem, then mother, Prem's mother. Next, his grandmother, matlab Prem's father or a mother. Correct, no? Prem's father or a mother, and whose brother's wife? Anand's brother's wife. So Anand had a brother, brother had a wife. CA Foundation, blood relations. Brother or a wife. These are the members who are there in the HUF. Okay. So if I am putting out Anand here, Anand had a son which is Prem. His widow, matlab Anand or a wife. Then Anand's grandmother. Anand had a mother. Mother had a grandmother. Brother's wife. So Anand ki brother or a wife. This is what the status is. People, who and all is dead? Anand is dead. Mother is dead. Brother is dead. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question is asking, can the HUF retain its status as such, or the surviving persons would become co-owners? Will the HUF shut down because wife has died, because Anand has died? No, the HUF will retain as it is. Let the son take over the operations. Is there any requirement that you should have a son married? Is there any requirement you should have more than one kids? No, as long as the son is alive, you have a kid, you can go forward with the HUF status. So therefore, the HUF will now be in the name of, or anything can happen. Yes, it can either be in the name of the wife can become the Karta, or Prem can become the Karta. That is not a problem at all. HUF does not have to retain the status. My question is not that. People, whose HUF is this? Anand's. What the hell is grandmother doing here? Forget that. What the hell is Bhabhi doing here? They're not even members of the family. Yes, which means the question was basically asking, just because Anand has died, can the other people, can grandmother and can brother's wife come and say, I also want share in the house? No, that is not permitted, which means even now HUF is only in the ownership of Prem and mother. Prem and mother, they are the only ones who can take over controls. Wife is the HUF member, no? Why is she not having share in the property? True, but tomorrow if Anand is dead, who's going to become the Karta? Very well, yes. Tomorrow she becomes the Karta, she gets the right in the property. But she can become a Karta, no? The moment she became a Karta, see, that's why you tell co-parceners and Karta. Karta always has rights. Co-parcener gets rights. The moment she became Karta, she became eligible for the property as such because she is now the eldest member of the family. So she has to take control, no other options otherwise. Any doubts on this part? No, it will not. You want, you can change it, but it will not affect your PAN number. Your PAN number will still remain the same. You want to change it from Anand HUF to Lakshmi HUF, it doesn't matter. That's a fine thing. That's not a problem. Take son's wife as the Karta now. That is what we discussed, no? If Anand is dead, wife is dead, son is also dead, son's wife is dead, she will become the Karta of the family, which means she now becomes Karta and has rights in the property. That's how HUF runs technically, if you think about it. Because when a HUF is grown, the ancestors would have created the HUF. All they keep dying, what happens? It keeps passing on. So it goes right down, right down, right down, right to wife, down to son, right to wife, down to son. See, if the daughter is going to become the HUF Karta, unfortunately she's going to get married and go to the other house, right? Then this HUF technically has to cease operations. And unless she is that nice enough to come and say, I will still continue the business. If she says that I will go to that family and still continue this business, then yes, very valid. But I don't think that will be allowed by the other family. So technically HUF will have to shut down only. Yes. And legally speaking, who was handling the business? Anand and the wife. When they're both dead, then who's going to handle the business? No one, which means business is going to, if business is going to shut down, HUF will also automatically. Yes. Now, do you have to shut down the HUF PAN number? Not required. But shut down the business, no income, no money, no problems. Anyways, doesn't matter at the end of the day. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear?
Prem becomes the Karta of the Anand HUF.
If Prem becomes Karta of Anand HUF.
Now, Prem is getting married. Can he open soon HUF?
That's what I said. No, see, if you're already the Karta of an HUF, can you become a Karta of another HUF? You'll have to surrender this one and make a new HUF, or you can try to not make that HUF itself. Leave it there. Don't become Karta into HUF. That will not be allowed to you. Clear? Any other doubts? Are we good to go? Clear on the income definition, people? Yes. Let's now get to the definition you were asking for, which was, you already know the answer. What is total income? Income of all 5 heads, which is salaries, house property, profits and gains of business, profits and gains of business or profession. It is profits and gains, business or profession. Understand, in one business you can have profits and gains. In one profession you can have profits and gains, but you cannot have a person doing both business or profession. If he is doing both, then they are separate activities altogether. We cannot merge them. So it is profit and gains, business or profession. Then we have capital gains, and finally income from other sources. Yes, thankfully nothing changed in income tax 2025 other than the section numbers. All remains the same, so there is no problem anyways. Yes, but my problem is not there. My problem is you are a CA final student, so you should know one thing. I'm going to ask you examples. You're going to tell me which head of income should you tax under. Shall we try? Try. People, I am a share trader. I have received dividends from Reliance ka shares. Taxable under. I am a share trader. I have received dividends from shares. Taxable under. For those who thought it's PGBP, worst. Absolutely worst. People, what are you? Your business is to buy and sell shares. Your business is not to get dividends out of it. Dividends is an ancillary thing. Are you dependent on dividends to run your business? Tomorrow, if the company does not give dividends, will you kill yourself? Which means it's not an important activity. Answer moves to, very good, answer moves to IFOS. Correct? Yes. People, I am a real estate guy. My job is to make buildings. I had a building in my name. Unfortunately, this building was not being bought, SPR. No one is buying the building. Yes, at which stage I was like, you know what, I'm making huge losses. Might as well. No one is buying, no. Might as well give it on rent. So I found a person is ready to take the property on rent. Rahul is receiving rent from a property held by Rahul as a stock in trade. Answer is People, just because I laugh does not mean it's wrong. Don't worry. Rent received by Rahul from a property held by Rahul as stock in trade. Taxable under HP. Your business is to buy and sell properties. You are not in the business of renting. Hello. You are not in the business of renting properties. This is your ancillary income. And ancillary income can either go to IFOS or it can go to HP, because HP is a specific section. Therefore, it gets taxed under HP. Yes or no? Very good. People, I am in the business of letting out residential houses. This is my business activity. Business activity is to let out residential houses. I receive rent from the residential house. Taxable under taxable under HP. Taxable under HP. Amendment of last year. It's an amendment of last year. Nirmala ma'am confirmed it, saying it will no more be taxable under PGBP. It will only be taxable under HP, because technically the problem in the market is every person started saying, I am in the business of letting out. And that became a huge problem, because if you notice, people in PGBP, I can claim all expenses, but in HP, I can only claim 30%. So what people started doing, imagine if I am running a PG. Imagine if I am running a PG, people, technically this is my side income, should be taxable under HP only. But what did I say? No sir, I am running a PG, I have 10 floors, everyone is living here only. I started taxing it under PGBP. That day Nirmala ma'am said not allowed, move it to HP, not taxable under PGBP. This was actually an overriding effect from a case law of Chennai Properties. You had a case law in India called Chennai Properties, Supreme Court decision, where Supreme Court had come and clarified renting out properties were actually PGBP. And then Nirmala ma'am came and said, who the hell is Supreme Court to come and tell me what to do? Income tax does not work because Supreme Court tells it. Income tax works because I talk about it. Yes, and therefore 2024, I think 2024 amendment came and clarified, saying residential property matlab HP only. I don't care what business you are in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Any doubts? Yes, people, I have a business asset. I have a business asset, depreciable business asset. I have charged depreciation on for the last 5 years. Today, I feel the asset is not working out anymore. Let's sell it off. Sale from depreciable asset. Taxable under very good, taxable under PGBP or CG, depending on the block. If the block ceases to exist, we go to capital gains. Sale value more than the cost, move to capital gains. If the block does not cease to exist, continue PGBP depreciation. Yes or no? Yes. Second, next, I am working in a company. This company basically comes and gives me salary. Yes, today I have quit my job, and company said, because you are working for so long, I will next year pay you pension. Rahul is receiving pension from a company in which he was working in the past. Today he is not working in the company. I am no more an employee. Pension received, taxable under pension received by Rahul from an old company where he is no more an employer. Taxable under, why? People, to be taxable under salaries, there should be an employer-employee relationship. Taxable under salaries. People, income tax says there should be a employer-employee relationship. They never said it should be there right now. As long as there was a relationship, it is taxable. Yes, this will work in the opposite manner also. Imagine I am going to join a company. Before joining the company, I went to the company. I said, sir, if you want me to join the company, I want joining bonus. Company said, no problems, my child. You join the company, I'll give you bonus. I'm like, first bonus, then only company. Matlab, first I want money, then only I will join the company. First Rahul got money when there was no employment itself. Then Rahul joined the company. Tell me, taxable under. Taxable under salaries only. People, this money was given to me for my future relationship. It's given for my future relationship, will be taxable under salaries. No doubt on that. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear? Sure about this? Yes, people, I was trying to sell a house. And therefore I got some advance. Unfortunately, when I was trying to sell the house, I got advance. He had to make the balance payment to me. He didn't make the balance payment to me. I got pissed off. I was like, no refund. Forfeiture of advance. Forfeiture of advance. Rahul has forfeited advance money. Taxable under PGBP. Hey, is it my business activity or what? I'm selling my house. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Depending on when did you do it. You might have learned it in Inter. If your forfeiture happened before 2014, take it under CG. If it happened after 2014, take it under IFOS. Take it under IFOS. Ayana. Yes, come on. People question is, I am basically having a contract. Yes, I have a contract with a client. And the client comes and says, dear Rahul, you are a good boy. Unfortunately, I don't trust you. You are a good boy. Unfortunately, I don't trust you. Tomorrow, you may not deliver the service. And therefore, I am a little scared. I have a simple request. If you want to enter into a contract with me, I want you to deposit a money in FD and earmark it to me. I don't know if you know this, we call it escrow accounts. Have you heard about this? Yes, what is escrow account, people? Basically is that, imagine if Rahul is going to enter into a transaction with Sankesh, and Sankesh comes and says, Rahul, I am going to deliver service to you, but for that service, you're going to charge me 10 lakhs. So I have told Sankesh, you deliver the service, I'll give you 10 lakhs. People, Sankesh may not be comfortable. What may Sankesh think? What if he doesn't pay tomorrow? So what will Sankesh tell? Sankesh will tell Rahul, I will work for you. I have a simple request. This 10 lakhs, you put it in a special account called escrow account. Called escrow account. The moment the service gets over, I will never approach you. I will directly go to the bank and I will say, give me the money. Give me the money. Now this gives Sankesh a little more confidence. Confidence that the money will be received by him. Yes or no? This is a very common practice in global terms. In foreign markets and all, they will always make an escrow account for all the transactions. Yes. Now understand the conversation very clearly. Rahul has put 10 lakh rupees in an FD, earmarked for Sankesh. Earmarked for Sankesh. This FD is going to generate interest. This FD is going to generate interest. Now whether the interest comes back to Rahul or comes back to Sankesh is not important. Someone will get the interest. Someone will get the interest. Interest received from the FD which is created for a business deal. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under PGBP. Taxable under PGBP. This is your CA final syllabus. CA final PGBP chapter will give you a case law called K & Co, where High Court basically came and clarified saying, boss, you never created the FD for your purposes. This was done purely for the business deal. Had you not created the FD, the business would have not gone through. Matlab, the FD is purely linked to your business. Apo interest is linked to your business. Should be taxable under. Very good. Should be taxable under PGBP. Any doubts on this part? Are we sure? Yes, good. Moving on forward, people. Imagine a case you are running a company. You are going to do the primary issue. You know what is primary issue? First issue of shares. Yes. So you have done a first issue of shares. You have asked people to give you money. They'll give you what is called share application. They'll give you share application. Hey, companies act as a requirement. Whatever money you receive, you have to keep it in a separate bank account. You have to keep it in a special, separate, nationalized bank account until you apply the money. So what has Rahul done? Rahul has issued the first issue. Rahul got money. Rahul kept it in a separate bank account. This bank account is going to generate interest. Very good. This bank account is going to generate interest. Interest received from a special bank account created for issuing shares. Not going to make it easy for you, don't worry. Taxable under. Why? This is your capital, no? You got the capital for what? For working capital needs or for long-term needs? How is it directly linked to your business? Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Not taxable. Not taxable at all. People, not taxable at all. This was another decision which came in. I don't remember the case law name exactly. There's a case law. Yes, we'll discuss it in IFRS. The case law basically comes and says, understand, you got this interest because of what? Issuing shares. And for issuing shares, you might have incurred issue expenses. So they came and said the interest is directly relating to the expense itself. Therefore, do one thing, net it off, and therefore they clarified saying interest income coming from the share application money deposit will be net off against the share issue expense. Now you may come and say, Rahul, what is the big deal? Anyway, that is going to go to P&L. No, share issue expenses are a capital expenditure because it's a one-time expense. It's going to increase your capital base, and therefore Supreme Court has clarified saying share issue expenses are your capital expenditure, and therefore interest will have to be net off against that. Matlab you cannot charge it off to P&L. It has to net off in your asset. It has to net off in your asset, which technically means this is not taxable. Hello? Yes or no? Yes or no? Any doubts on this? Are we sure? What if there is capital receipt exempt from tax? If you have a surplus, good for you, amazing. Not supposed to happen, but something is wrong with your bank account then. Clear? Yes, yes. Final questions from CA Inter people. The question is very simple. Rahul has an agricultural land. On this agricultural land, Rahul has a warehouse. From this warehouse, what should Rahul do? Rahul should store his goods. But what happened? Rahul was not able to store his goods because Rahul did not have a good crop season this year. So Rahul went to his fellow farmer and he told, dear fellow farmer, I have a warehouse sitting pending. Waste, nothing is happening in it. If you want, use the warehouse. If you want, you can use the warehouse for storing your food grains. In return, pay me rent. In return, pay me rent. Tell me, Rahul has received rent from a warehouse in which food grains are stored by another party. You should have learned all this at CA Inter. Taxable under the warehouse building illiya. Taxable under exempt from tax. This is agricultural income. Any income deriving from the agricultural land is fully exempt. Ayana. Yes, come on. People, Rahul has the agricultural land. Rahul told this year's season itself is bad. No point of being a farmer anymore. Rahul decided to sell the land itself. Rahul has sold off the agricultural land and has got 10 crore rupees. Taxable under. Rural da. I am selling the land. I am not doing income from the land. Land with them. This is exempt. This is exempt. Any activity happening on the land is fully exempt as long as it is relating to an agricultural activity. Yes. One question which ICI asked in CA Inter once. The question was, on that agricultural land, I've made a house. In this house, what is happening? Ground floor, I am living because I am going to take care of my land. First floor, I called my fellow farmer. I was like, boss, you don't have a house to live. You live in my house. You live in my house. So first floor, I gave it to him. He's giving me rent. Rent received from a house which is on the agricultural land. This is HP. This is HP because here, even though the activity is happening on the land, it is not an agricultural activity. You need to have an agricultural activity happening, and therefore it is fully taxable. It is fully taxable. Same question they came and asked people. They came and said, on the agricultural land, there is a movie shooting going on. DDLJ Part 2 is going to be shot. Dilwale Duniya Le Jayenge Part 2 is going to be shot. So Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol will come from two different places, run to each other. Yes, for that we have created an agricultural land, and on that agricultural land, Rahul is receiving rent. Rent received from the agricultural land used for movie shooting. This is IFOS. Where is the house? HP के लिए house चाहिए ना. There is no house itself. मतलब HP cannot come. The question was either it is agricultural or IFOS. There is no agricultural activity happening. This is a commercial activity, and therefore it is moving on to IFOS. It is moving on to IFOS. Yes. See, this is what classification is all about, people. Classifying things properly is more important. You don't classify it rightly, the question will end up going wrong. Yes, the one classification which I've always studied at C inter level. I'm not sure if you are smart enough to answer it. People, imagine it's your wedding. Imagine it's your wedding, and the company, Tata company, has given you 50,000 rupees because you're getting married. So, gift given by your Tata company, 50,000 rupees on the occasion of your marriage. Gift received by the employer on the occasion of your wedding is taxable, fully taxable under the head salaries. People, the exception or the exemption to not tax a wedding gift is under IFOS. This is a gift given by employer on the course of your employment, taxable under the head salaries, and salary has no such exemptions. Salary comes and says if you get a gift more than 15,000, fully taxable. By the way, people, 15,000 is an amendment. Last year, it was 5,000. Now it is 15,000. Yes. So if you get a gift more than 15,000, it is always taxable. And this is one mistake which students end up making. They see wedding, they say exempt. Not every wedding is exempt. Yes or no? Wedding, by whom is the question? If a gift is coming under employment, it is always taxable. In the similar terms, I can come and tell you one thing. People, imagine I'm running a business. My client got to know that I'm getting married. Client comes to me and comes and says, happy marriage. Here is a TV. Tell me. TV given by my client because I'm getting married. It is fully taxable under the head PGBP. It is fully taxable under that PGBP. People, my relationship with the client is a business deal. The moment it was a business deal, PGBP came into picture, and PGBP has zero exemptions. They say one gift also you receive fully taxable. Yes or no? Yes. See, this is where you learn different things. Understand, wedding is not always exempt. Just because you think you are getting married, everything in the world is exempt. No. There are things which can become taxable. You have to play smart around. Which is why I keep clarifying to you, exemption happens before. Before exemption takes place, you need to first know the head of income to clarify. The head of income to clarify. Without knowing that, you can never find the right answer. Any doubts on this part? If I'm an employee, then it is IFOS, obviously. If I'm an employee and the client is giving me a gift, the client is of the employer, not of mine, which means we don't have a direct dealing, and I'm not into any business also. That moves into IFOS. In same examples, if I come and tell you, if you are getting married and your office manager gives you a gift, exempt, because he's your office manager, he's not your employer. Your employer is your company. Therefore, this also moves into IFOS, and IFOS automatically makes it exempt from tax. That's the answer. Yes, very valid question. If I was in employment, ex-employer is giving me or ex-manager is giving me? Ex-employer is giving me, then salaries only. By the way, he will not give it to you, but if he does, then it is salaries only. If ex-manager is giving to you, if he's coming for your wedding and all because of your relationship, then again, it's not because of employment, that is under IFOS and fully exempt. Yes, so that is one thing for you to realize very, very carefully. Any doubts on this part? Yes, 2 hours of discussion only to handle one word, which is total income. Yes, I asked you yesterday itself, you wanted total income. Income itself you did not understand. Yes, so that is what we discussed for today, people. Anyway, chapter 1 is already over. We have already understood everything when it comes to chapter number 1. This is what your chapter number 1 was all about. The only one thing which is pending to discuss, which I'm assuming you already know, is called tax year. Yes, this was an amendment of income tax 25. The intention being very simple. In the past, you were learning the word previous year and assessment year, where you know very carefully, previous year is the year in which you earn incomes, and assessment year is the year in which you pay the taxes. Yes, income tax at some point of time realize this is getting confusing. This is getting confusing because logically thinking, people, today is 18th of July. Today, imagine if you pay me my fees. Imagine if you pay me my fees, technically today I have earned the money. Upon today I am in current year. But from income tax purpose, today is also a previous year, which means I am technically in current previous year. And you see the oxymoron? I am currently in my previous year. I am living my past. Yes or no? Yes. This became a problem at certain stage. At certain stage, they realized this is not working out, people. At the same time, assessment year was another confusion altogether, because it was easy for you and me as professional to understand, but as a local third person, it became very complicated. When we were taking up tax filings, the bigger issue which was happening is, we go to the client and we come and say, sir, I'm going to file your tax return for assessment year 26-27. And the first thing that guy comes and asks is, how are you filing something which is currently going on? I am currently in July, 26-27 is going on right now. I don't even know my future income. You want me to pay advance tax or what? Yes, at that point you have to clarify to him, no, sir, it is actually for the last year only, but we are doing it in the current year. Yes, he will somehow get convinced. But then when you give him the ITR, no, the problem with ITR is also that only. ITR acknowledgement will come, top left you will see, it will say assessment year 26-27. He will then again come and ask the same question. You told me you're filing it for last year. Why does it say current year? What are you doing? Are you frauding me? Yes or no? At that stage, it became very confusing for us. And at that stage, India realized, let's go to global standards. Yes, at that point of time, global standards were adopted. US, UK, Singapore, every country follows a very simple concept which is called tax year, and thereby came in the concept of tax year. Yes, where now income tax comes and says, beta, difference is nothing. Difference is previous year will now be called tax year, and assessment year is not there itself. There is no more concept of assessment year. If you want to call it as assessment year, you basically call it next year. So which means now income tax says next year of the tax year. Yes, that is why if you remember yesterday's class, I was telling you, if you want to file your tax returns, the tax return due date is now 31st July of the year next to the or succeeding the tax year. That is how the word used. Yes, so now previous year is tax year and assessment year is next year. Assessment year is next year. That is what the concept is. Any doubts on this? Yes, people, you are writing exam for a. You're writing exam for TY. Very good. You're writing exam for TY 26-27. Your tax year is 26-27, which means from 1st April 26 to 31st March 27. Now be careful and clear, people. You might be writing exam in May 27, which is technically TY 27-28. But for your exam, you're reading 26-27 because you are acting as a department guy here. People, as a department guy, will you come and ask tax in the tax year or the next year? Next year. Appo, will you compute income in tax year or next year? Next year. Appo, if you pay tax, so you'll pay tax in tax year or next year? Next year. And therefore, as a CA also, you are supposed to be assessing every activity which happened in the last tax year. And therefore, for 27, May 27 and November 27, it is TY 26-27. You are going 1 year before and finding out data. Yes, so be very clear on that as a first starting point. Yes, the reason is because at CA final level, at least, ICA loves to play with dates. ICA has a very weird practice to play with dates. Suddenly, one question will come and say that the data is relating to TY 25-26. For your exam, that is irrelevant because you will say it was already taxed in the last years. They may also give you a question where they may come and say sale of the asset happened in 1st May 27, which is technically 27-28, which is also not relevant to your year. You will say capital gain should be taxable in the next year, not in this year, and that's what the confirmation is. Any doubts on this? Yes. Beyond this, people, everything else remains the same in the law, which means income tax clarifies tax year is always going to follow financial year terms, starting from 1st April and ending on 31st March. But yes, income tax does clarify one thing to you. Beta, tax year need not necessarily be 12 months. It can also be for a period less than 12 months. Example, if you're starting a business just now, then it is starting from today. So which means if I start my business on 15th of July, my tax year itself will start from 15th of July and end on 31st of March. If Rahul is starting his business on 10th of March, my TY is 10th March to 31st March. If Rahul is starting his business on 30th March 27, Rahul's TY is 30th March to 31st March. If Rahul is starting his business on 31st March 27, What, from and to is the same data? 1 day previous year. Huh? People, 1 day and all is not important. Let's move it to next year. No, 1 day is important. Huh? My TY will be 31st March to 31st March. The 1 day can make a huge impact, people. Yes, I'm not even kidding about it. 1 day wonders can happen. Imagine if you start your business on 31st March and today when you started your business, you may have to incur incorporation expenses. Now tomorrow if I come and tell you 31st March is ignored, let's take it from next year. What happens? That expenses get wasted, sunk cost. Will I accept? I will definitely not accept. Why will I accept this case? I will say, no sir, I'm sorry. 31st March also I want to include. I want my expenses. Similarly, imagine that you people are for the very first time going to earn an income. Life play, you've never earned a single rupee. And on 31st March, suddenly you found a lottery ticket on the road. You took the lottery ticket, 5 crores ka money. You went to the income tax department and said, sir, I got the lottery ticket on 31st March. What will you do with 1 day? Let's start from next year. Will income tax department agree? What will he say? Beta, 31st March, you got money, no, give me tax. Yes or no? The income tax clarifies one thing to you. My dear child, tax year is always April to March. But if you're starting business for the first time, that will be the start date. If your income is coming in for the very first time, that will be the start date. It can even be 1 day also. I don't care. I don't care. Yes. Now here is a clarification for you people. I don't know how many of you have read Companies Act properly. Companies Act has a rule. For those people who know, in Companies Act, financial year has a different terminology. In Companies Act, it says after 1st January, if you are incorporated, then you will merge the 3 months to the next year. My question is very simple. You incorporated on 20th February. Companies Act came and said, beta, merge these 2 months to the next year. Matlab in Companies Act, are you going to prepare accounts for these 2 months? No. Tell me in income tax, do you have to prepare accounts for these 2 months? Yes. Will you get it audited? For these 2 months? I'm not asking about tax audit, I'm asking about start audit. Will you get a start audit done on this? No, why? Because it is merged to the next year. Very good question. What is the due date of return filing? You're not liable for tax audit. You're not liable for start audit also. What is the due date for filing of tax returns for a company who has not been start audited, neither been tax audited? People, if you were start audited, I didn't have a problem. Then it is 31st October only. Because law comes and says any audit applicable on you 31st October. I'm not applicable for audit itself. No idea. Homework for today. This is your today's homework. What is the due date of return filing for a new company which has not been start audited, neither been tax audited? Yes, that's the homework for today for you to figure out and come in the next class. Yes or no? Yes. Question number 2. People, Companies Act also comes in a second condition. The second condition comes and says if you are a parent of a if you are a subsidiary of a holding company, and if the holding company is following a different financial year, then you can also change your financial year accordingly. You know this? Yes. So if your parent company is following Jan to December, you can also follow Jan to December. Question is, now Companies Act has been prepared in the terms of Jan to December. Will income tax be okay with Jan to December? Apo, what will you have to do? You'll have to prepare 2 accounts right now. One for start, one for income tax. One for start and one for income tax. Question, the income tax accounts that you prepared, does it have to be audited? I'm clarifying start audit, not tax audit. Tax audit, I'll tell you, 1 crore toss another. Income tax order April to March non-applicable accounts which you prepared, does it have to be start audited? People, Companies Act doesn't want it. Companies Act is okay with your Jan to December also. Tell me, does it have to be start audited? Yes sir, who's telling you to do it? Hey, by the way, the original start audit also, why did you do it? Who told you to do it? Companies Act, section 143. Section 143 of the Companies Act would have asked you to do start audit for the original Jan to December one. Did Companies Act ask you to do it for April to March? Up which act is coming and asking you to do start audit? No act is saying you. Up do you have to get start audit done? Do you have to get tax audit done? depending on the turnover limits. Yes, up the same question applies. Both the questions are the same. Imagine a case where your turnover does not cross 1 crore. You are following April to March only for tax purposes. You did not get stat audit done. You did not get tax audit done. Tell me, return of filing due date. August? August. Oh, the amended one. Okay. Sure? Sure? Let's check, people. You come and check and tell me tomorrow. Let's see if it's 31st August. Yes. You have, basically there are only two choices. Either it's 31st August or it's 31st. Or it's 31st October. Yes, you have to tell me which of the two is correct. That's the homework for tomorrow's class. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear? Yes. Now, people, you have also learned this in inter-syllabus. So I'm clarifying this one out of it and we are done with it. Yes. The clarification is very simple. You generally know that if you have an income earned in tax year, you end up paying tax in the next year. Yes. In the past, we used to say if you have an income in PY, you have to pay tax in AY. That is what the logic is. But you might have learned there were some exceptions. Exceptions where income tax department will come and say, my dear child, don't wait until assessment year. I may not find you itself. It's better if you pay your tax right now itself. If you pay your tax right now itself, the same rule applies in income tax right now also. So even now income tax says normally tax is paid in next year, but there are 5 scenarios where income tax would ask you to pay tax in TY itself. Anyone? Ship, foreign ship. Very good. Foreign ship coming down to India and leaving India will have to pay tax and then only leave India. कुछ बोल रहे थे ship वाला ही. अच्छा. People, why would income tax department have a risk with you in the next year? Very good. If you get an absconded person, a person will end up leaving India before the end of the previous year. I will get worried because he may not end up paying his taxes. If he's never going to come back, where will I go and find him? Situation number 2, an individual who is leaving India, no intention of coming back. Very good. Next. You have done this very practically. Come on. Think very logically. People, I have a company. I'm going to shut down the company. You have to appoint a liquidator. What will liquidator do? Before he shuts his company down, he will sell all the assets, start discharging money. First, he will pay liquidator fees. Second, he will pay secured creditors. Third, he will pay income tax department. Third, he will pay income tax department. Fourth, he will pay workmen. And fifth, he will pay unsecured creditors. Notice, when did the tax department get the money? During liquidation itself, which is nothing but the tax year. Hello. Yes. Definition number 3 was when a business or profession is discontinued in the current year, I will ask you to pay tax in the current year itself. Only then can you leave. Only then can you leave. Otherwise, I will not let you shut down the business itself. Yes. 4 is any person who is discharging his assets, selling off his assets, pledging his assets, putting an amortization of it with a simple intention to evade taxes. Imagine, people, Rahul has earned 5 crores in the current year. Income tax department will come to me and say, beta, pay tax. I don't want to pay tax. You know what I did? I took all my 5 crores, sent it off to my mom as a gift. People, Rahul asset worth is 0. Rahul's asset worth is 0. Tomorrow, income tax department will come to Rahul, come and say, beta, tax. I'm like, sir, I am poor, very poor, don't have 1 rupee also. He's like, boss, you had 5 crores. No, sir, that and all I gave to mummy. And mummy is a different individual. Can he go and touch her? Can he go and touch her? No. What did Rahul do? Rahul sold off all the assets to mother with an intention to evade taxes. Will income tax be okay with this? Income tax has put a very clear clause in income tax which says when a person is discharging away all of his assets, the transaction will be assumed void. The transaction will be assumed void unless he pays his taxes, which means before I send off my transfer to my mom, I have to get a no objection certificate from department confirming that, sir, I have discharged the assets tax to you, which means this asset is now saleable. If at any point of time I don't get the no objection certificate, income tax department can tomorrow go to my mother and tell my mother that the assets which you got is void. It's void, and therefore the transfer never took place, which means my mother will then have to pay the tax on it. I'm not sure if you've done this in a real life, people, but that's a requirement from income tax. The requirement is that when you do business restructurings, selling businesses and all those things, it is a mandate that you have to go to income tax department and get a NOC. If you don't get an NOC, the business transfer deal can make transfer void. Yes, that's a requirement. Many people are not even aware about it, but be sure to have it clear. In the old income tax, it was section 280. I'm yet to check the new income tax, but in the old income tax, it was section 280, which used to come and say transfers will be deemed as void when the income tax department can identify this to be a scheme of tax evasions. Any doubts? Yes, that gives me scenario number 5. Scenario number 5 is where income tax says if you create an AOP or BOI, there is a big problem with this. The problem with an AOP BOI is that they don't have a legal validity. People, for a partnership, you will create a deed. For a company, you will have an ROC document. Everything will be valid. AOP BOI has no legal validity itself. Two people come together and come and say, bro, let's do business. It's an AOP. That is how flexible AOPs are. And that's the bigger problem. Problem is, imagine Rahul and Diansh went together and said, let's go and open a lemonade stand. People, together we have opened a lemonade stand. Whatever profit comes will come to both of us. Do we look like a partnership? No. Apo, this will become a BOI. The moment this becomes a BOI, what is the problem? BOI now has to pay tax. But what happened? Lemonade stand is for 1-2 months. Will I run it for the whole year? No. After 2 months, what will happen? Income tax department will come and ask for tax. Yes or no? People, will income tax department come in current year or next year? He'll come in next year. Next year, income tax department comes to Rahul, comes and says, beta, tax. I'm like, sir, whom are you asking? Are you asking Rahul as an individual or Rahul as an BOI member? Whom is he asking? Rahul as a BOI member. I'll be like, sir, if you're asking Rahul as a BOI member, unfortunately, from the BOI, you know what? I received nothing, sir. Jitna I tried to receive, all Divyansh took. Divyansh, give me 1 rupee also. Did not give me 1 rupee also, sir. I don't have nothing in my hand. I can't pay the tax. You do one thing. Check with him. You go check with him. Yes, income tax department then called up Divyansh and he was like, Divyansh, I want money because Rahul says you have everything. You have. Divyansh comes and says, sir, what nonsense is he talking? Pagal jaise baat kar raha hai. I actually did not receive anything. He took all the money and ran away. I am still searching for him myself. If you know where he is, tell me. People, at this stage, income tax department is stuck. Whom does he go and collect? Yes or no? Risk hai. What will income tax department do? Beta, forget everything. Last year itself, I will come to you and come and say, beta, you opened lemonade stand. Before you shut down, bloody pay the tax and go. Don't leave it as it is. I'm not going to let you go as it is. Yes, 5 scenarios for you people where TY will become the same as next year. Foreign ships. Person leaving India, no intention of coming back. Discontinued business or profession. Disposing of my assets with an intention to evade taxes. AOP BOI, which is created in the current year, is dissolved in the current year itself. 5 scenarios where you will not be taxable for this. Now, this is CA inter syllabus, not part of CA final as such. Theoretical topics, so will not be tested in exam. But yes, things for you to keep in mind. Any doubts on this? Yes. Now I have a simple story on this which can make it an easier understanding for you. Just giving it out the story. If you understand, great. Otherwise, skip. Yes. People, you know the most loyal person of India. Mr. Vijay Mallya. The most loyal person of India, Mr. Vijay Mallya. You know the background of Mr. Vijay Mallya? Rahul Bhai will help you with the background. We'll make with the background. Vijay Mallya is going to help us learn tax. Okay. So Mr. Vijay Mallya, in the past when he was running Kingfisher, at one point of time was making good money. Life was happy, everything was what? Yes. At some stage in India, we had an F1 race. If you remember, very long back, we had an F1 race. And for those who know, Vijay Mallya had also invested money in that. Yes, Vijay Mallya was actually the owner of an F1 team, RCB and Kingfisher. Yes, he was an owner of all the 3. He put money left, right and center. That is why he doesn't have money right now. Yes, the story works like this. What has happened is Mr. Vijay Mallya, having a Kingfisher in his hand, one day decided that he wants to also run a F1 team. Now the problem with F1 is not a cheap thing. It needs money. And therefore what happened? Vijay Mallya decided, I cannot do it alone. I need a partner. I need a partner in crime. Yes. And at that point of time, Mr. Vijay Mallya went and approached Nirav Modi. You know Nirav Modi? Second most loyal person in India. Yes. All diamond scams. All diamond scam. So Mr. Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi have together joined hands and bought a F1 team. And have bought an F1 team. People did they sign an agreement, which means this is a BOI. Very good. This is a BOI. So Mr. Vijay Mallya, Mr. Nirav Modi have joined hands, have become a BOI, and now have bought an F1 team. Yes, when the F1 races were about to start, Vijay Mallya was high, drunk, and he said, you know what, why are you driving the car? Tera bhai chalayega. So he went and he said, I will drive my own F1 car. Same like Tony Stark. Yes or no? Yes. So he went and he drove his own car. Unfortunately, lost the race. Unfortunately, lost the race. And Vijay Mallya, being Vijay Mallya, had put a lot of money on bet. Matlab, lost huge. Now F1 race is over, made huge losses, is having a lot of debt spending. SBI is coming and asking, F1 team is coming and asking, everyone is screwing his life. At this stage, Vijay Mallya says, I have two options. Either I will pay the money back or I will run away. Easiest answer, run away. Yes. So what Vijay Mallya decided? He decided, let's run away. Vijay Mallya has decided to run away. What should he do, people? To run away, he needs money first. Passport you need money. Where will the money come from? F1 is a loss. The only place who can give you money is Kingfisher. So what did he do? He decided to sell off Kingfisher. Now people, Kingfisher cannot be sold just like that. Kingfisher has assets. No. So what should I do? I sold off my assets. So Mr. Vijay Mallya decided to sell off all the assets of Kingfisher. Assets have been sold off. Is there anything pending in Kingfisher? What will he do? He will shut down Kingfisher. Yes. So Mr. Vijay Mallya has decided he will shut down Kingfisher. Yes. So what and all has happened, people? Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi came together, BOI, made an F1 team, made losses, decided to run away. Have now decided they will shut down Kingfisher, for which they have to sell all the assets. They have sold all the assets. People, now, before he leaves, he also has to shut down F1 also. No. So he then decided to shut down F1 also. Yes, which means now he has shut down F1 also, he shut down Kingfisher also. All India obligations done. Person is ready to leave India. But the problem is very simple. He sold off Kingfisher. Is he the owner? Does he have a flight? Can he take a flight? No. He went to SpiceJet and said, dear SpiceJet, I want to leave India. SpiceJet said, you are my competition. No ticket for you. Get lost. He went to Indigo. Indigo also said no. He decided never to go to Air India. I want to go out alive. So no Air India. Yes, at this stage he had no other options. He decided, you know what, flights are not possible and everyone is on surveillance because passport is required. So he decided the best way to leave India is by ship. So he called his friend from outside, some random friend from outside of UK. He called and he said, bring your ship, carry me and I will leave. Friend came, brought a ship. He boarded the ship, left to India. Intention of coming back is not there. End of the story, happy ending. This story has actually given you all the 5 answers. Think about it. Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi came together, made a BOI, became a BOI in the current year, decided to shut down BOI same year. AOP BOI created in the year and closed in the same year. I need money, decided to shut down Kingfisher. Business or profession, discontinued in the year. To sell my business, to shut down my business, I need to sell my assets. I disposed of all my assets with no intention of paying taxes. At this stage, I was like, I want to leave India. So call my friend. Foreign ship coming to India, leaving India. Along with him, I am also leaving India. No intention of coming back. Individual is leaving India. Intention of coming back is not there. 5 scenarios. Vijay Mallya helps you in income tax. Yes or no? These are the 5 scenarios for you people. Nothing important for CA final, but still enough to remember. Any doubts on this? Are we clear? Yes, this is your basics of income tax. Nothing great that we have discussed. I'm assuming you understood the chapter. Yes, in the middle of all the 3-day stories that we have done, we have completed the chapter of. Yes, so that is what the chapter looks like. I'm going to show it to you, see if you understand the chapter very stupidly. Chapter, people, we started by saying if you want to create a law, you need to know whether state list, union list or concurrent list. Article number 246. We are sitting in union list. You and I are sitting in union list. So union list is sitting here, but agriculture alone moves to state list. We then discuss the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. English story, we confirmed only one thing. Income, expenses. Yes, then we discussed that if you want to read a law, law is bigger than an act, therefore law has 5 things. Act, rules, circulars, notifications, case laws. Act goes with legislative body, rules and circulars and notifications with administrative body, judicials are case laws. Judicials are case laws. Income tax we told 536 sections, 535 effectively enough. You have around 16 schedules. You have around 16 schedules. Then you have rules. Rules is 2026. People, which is bigger? Act or rules? Act is bigger. Then we discussed about Finance Act. I told you how an act comes into picture. You start with the bill, make it into Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. President gives assent. Then it becomes an act. Then it becomes an act. The act which is applicable to you is given Finance Act 2026. But I also told you have another act. Income Tax Amendment Act 2026 is also applicable for your syllabus. Then we discussed what is circulars and notifications. I told you circulars are binding on department, notifications are binding on everyone. It's binding on everyone. Then we discussed case laws. I told you there are 4 parties: CIT, ITAT, High Court. For your exam, only High Court and Supreme Court is there. So Supreme Court decision is applicable for everyone. High Court decision is applicable for the state. Yes. Then we discussed the example of India, where and all India is covered. You have India for land mass, 12 nautical miles, 200 nautical miles, underwater, underground, above air. India definition. Yes. Then we discuss the definition of persons: individual, HUF, firm, company, AOP, BOI, local authority, AJPs. Yes. After that, we have things like assessee and all. This will be discussed with you along with me in assessment chapters when we go to technical topics. Right now, not relevant. Skip it off. Yes. Then we have what is called as income. We discussed income definition is under 249. Income definition is 249. I have not put the income definition, people. I can't write 40 lines for you. Yes, for me, income definition is all that things which you discuss with me in the heads of income. Heads of income. Things for you to keep in mind: income can be regular or once in a lifetime. Income is nothing but revenue minus allowable expense. Any kind of income can be cash or kind. It can be legal or illegal, doesn't matter. When you want to classify them into capital or revenue, I will ask 3 questions. Is it affecting your livelihood? Is it frequent enough? Third, what is your nature of business? And fourth, if it is an income relating to an asset, then it is capital. If it is income relating to stock, revenue. That is what we wrote. And then we wrote examples, people. I told you liquidation damages. Kya damages? Liquidation damages for an asset is capital. Compensation for a only business activity, capital. Compensation for multiple business activity, revenue. Compensation for employment activity, capital. Compensation for business contracts, capital. Any kind of gift received, capital in nature. 2 case laws we wrote. One is the technical fees. If you have any technical fees which is affecting your business itself, then it is capital. If it is regular technical fees which will not impact your livelihood, revenue. And then liquidated damages, same as above. Yes. Then we wrote the charging section. We said charging section says tax your total income on a person in the tax year at the rates in force according to the provisions of the act. Yes. Tax year is nothing but 12 months ka period, which is starting from April to March, but it can become lower. When will it become lower? When you set up a new business. In that case, from that date. If you are getting new income, then from that date, the income will be established to you. That is when your TY will start. Ending will always 31st March. Ending is always 31st March. One clarification which I have given in green to you people is that even though accounts is followed in different calendar year terms, income tax is always April to March. You cannot modify that. You cannot modify that. Then we discuss what is called as the cases where TY will be the same as next year. 5 cases for you. We told BOI will shut down, business will shut down, assets will be sold off, non-resident will bring a ship, I will leave India with no intention of coming back. 5 cases for you to keep in mind. And then comes your total income. We start with salaries, house property, PGBP, CG, IFOS. Yes, people, I know you know this, but I'm clarifying to you. See section numbers. In every head of income, the first section number will be its, very good. In every section number, first head of income will be a charging section. Income tax is special to that extent. In income tax, section 4 is the charging section for the full act. And other than that, every head of income has its own charging section. Yes, which means unfortunate for you and me, if today we discuss charging section number 4, 2 lines for 2 hours, every time we start a head of income, you and I will spend 2 hours on it. Yes, you and I will spend. That is my practice, people. I will not do it otherwise. I am not going to compromise on my education. I will make sure that I will spend too much time with you to examine everything in detail. Yes, so every head of income ka charging section, we will waste way too much time. Yes, only to make sure that you convince yourself of. Yes, so that is going to happen. So yes, the new amended charging sections are 15, 20, 26, 67 and 92. Do you know the old ones? Very good. 28 was for PGVP. 60? 64 was for capital gains. 56 was for IFOS. Very good. 22 was for HP and 15 was for salaries. Yes, these were the old charging sections, people. Now, if you notice what has happened, salaries mein sections have come down. Salaries mein section have come down. 2 sections have come down only for one reason. They merged the 2 sections together. Yes, HP mein, if you notice, sections have come down because now PGBP starts at 26. Yes or no? Yes, the only reason that has happened is because of the merging of the sections again. Yes, then you go to PGBP, you'll notice PGBP has increased. PGBP has gone from 44 series to 67 series right now. Yes, there is only one reason for it. In PGBP, you knew better than me. You had section 35, then you had section 35 AD, then you had section 35 D, DD, 35 CC, CCA, CCD. Then you had section 36, 3619, 3617, 3617A, 362, 37, 38, 40, 40A, 41, 42A, 43, 43A, 43AA, 43B, you know, 43C, 43CB was there, 44 was there. Then you had procedural series, 44A, 44AA, 44AB for tax audit. Then you had 44B non-resident cases, non-resident presumptives, 44B, BB, BBA, BBB, BBC, BBD. And then BBE came in last year. Then you had 44C, 44CC and 44CA something. Then you closed at 44D with 44DB as the last section. All those things are now become numbers. All those things are now becomes numbers. So that is why the sections have increased to 66, which is where your capital gains comes at 67. 67 and this 91 it goes. Yes, capital gains goes on till 91 and then IFOS only starts at 92 series. Yes, that is where it works. Anyways, just to clarify, people, when you get the 5 heads of income, 5 heads of income will not give you total income. The 5 heads of income will give you, very good, the 5 heads of income will give you the gross total income. In that gross total income, you need to claim deductions. Earlier you used to call it chapter 6A. Now we call it chapter 8. Now we call it chapter 8 deductions. Yes, it's called chapter 8 deductions, which starts from 123 series. Yes, so it's called chapter 8 deductions. You give chapter 8 deductions, you will end up with your total income. You'll end up with your total income. Just a clarification to you people, unlike other faculties, Rahul Bhaiya only uses the word total income. In the whole income tax, there is no word called as net total income. Yes, income tax mein kahin pe bhi you will not find the word called net total income. So I would recommend not using that word. Let's use the word as total income because that's the law. That is why on the top we have used the word gross total income. So gross total income is the good answer because otherwise you'll get confused in exam. In exam, if the question suddenly says total income, you may get confused, right, whether GTI or TI. Answer is TI. Yes, so we are not going to use the word NTI anymore. We are going to use, that's the answer. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear? Have we covered chapter 1? Yes, chapter 1 is technically done, people. You have not written anything along with me. We don't have to write anything in this also. Chapter 1 for your exam is skip. Chapter 1 for your exam is skip. 4 days we wasted on this only to realize we don't have to study this for exam itself. 2 case laws which you have, I will write it separately for you, but other than that, the chapter is skip. Yes. Now, obviously, I could have directly jumped down to rates of taxes with you, but then looking at your face, I realized basics are a problematic area. Yes, which means if the basics are not clear, you had to do this with me. No other options. Otherwise, we could have done it very faster. I could have finished the demo in 5 days itself and come and told you, let's go to PGBP. Yes, but we are doing 3 days extra because this is a requirement for me. Yes, from tomorrow, life is easy, people. From tomorrow, we only have to do some. So from tomorrow, we're going to start tax rate computations and everything. So tomorrow, the things will become a lot more interesting for you, probably. Right now, yes, theory has become too daunting for you. But yes, I'm assuming you feel a little more knowledgeable right now. Yes, a little more knowledgeable would have come to you. If a little bit of a knowledge has been imparted from my side and you feel you have learned something new, that is already a good practice from my side. Yes. So yes, you will find days where there will be too much English, too much theory, too much data to absorb. But those kind of days are where you learn better. Yes. People, at the end of the day, if sums and all has to be done, you can do it yourself also. The book is available with you. ChatGPT is doing a better job. What is the point of me doing it? These are the parts which ChatGPT cannot teach you. Yes, and therefore these are the parts where I want to pay more attention to. But yes, nevertheless, from tomorrow, you're definitely going to feel more convincing. Confident and all. You're sitting in my class, people. You don't feel confident at any point of time. Yes, from tomorrow's class, you'll feel a little more convincing that yes, you know the law a little better for you to implement it better. Yes, so that is what is going to happen from tomorrow's class. So yes, from tomorrow's class, you're going to have a little more fun time. But trust me when I tell you this, rates of tax, if you have learned it in C enter in an easy format, something is wrong with you. Yes, it's not going to be easy tomorrow. Yes, you will start questioning whether you have learned C enter properly or not. Let me tell you that in tomorrow's class. Clear? Yes, yes, good. Please carry your notes from tomorrow's class. We're going to do it properly from tomorrow's session. Any doubts on this part? Are we clear to go? Yes, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.